for Trump is good for us, isn't it? Absolutely. All right, we're going live.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right. Oh, man, it's Tuesday already, December 12th, 2023. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. And, man, do we have a lot to cover today. A lot of good news for Trump. And, of course, whatever is good for President Trump is good for you, me, America, and the world. We've got so much to discuss, and we're going to get into a lot of it. And I've got some audio that I want to get to, and so much is happening. Oh, man, on a chilly day in South Florida, which I don't mind. That's why I got the seat heaters. Oh, man. Okay, well, let's just jump into it. You know, it's hard just to jump into it, quite frankly, because so much is going on. I don't know which story to begin with. Well, let me talk about the polls in Iowa. The Des Moines Register, everything's been about Iowa, right? And Ron DeSanctimonious, he keeps saying there's surprises in Iowa. I've been to every county. Well, there's a new poll out with Donald Trump just hitting home runs. And let me go through this. The Des Moines Register is a very, very accurate poll in Iowa because I've been following these elections for a long time. And when we get down to Iowa, it's all about the Des Moines Register. Let me read through this story, and then we'll talk about this. And there's a whole bunch more, too. I may talk almost as fast as Ben Shapiro today. I apologize, but there's so much to get to, all right? President Trump, this is in Breitbart. Breitbart has a story on the Des Moines Register poll that I'm reading from. And the headline, Trump crushing everyone in Iowa per Des Moines Register poll. Ah, yes, great news. President Trump is now over the magic 50% mark in Iowa per the latest Des Moines Register NBC News MediaCon Iowa poll. A poll with more producers than a Bruce Willis direct-to-video movie, it says. Okay, that's kind of a little funny jab they took. But Des Moines Register and NBC News. So these are, not only has Trump broken the 50% mark, okay, he's broken the 50% mark in a poll that's done by Trump haters. That's amazing. That's probably why Jack Smith is in a panic attack going to the Supreme Court. He's freaking out right now, Jack Smith. I'd be freaking out too if I was a corrupt cop who was misusing my authority as a law enforcement officer of the court to to gather up political prisoners to send off to gulags. Since an October poll, President Trump has jumped 8 full points from 43% in October to his current standing of 51%. That's right. Now, of course, they get in here. The latest media hoax known as Nikki Haley Mentum, like momentum, Nikki Haley Mentum, sounds like a laxative. Nikki Haley Mentum. Take 2 at night and wake up in the morning clean. I don't know. And the media really has been pushing that. Back to Breitbart. The latest media hoax known as Nikki Haley Mentum has just been debunked. The former South Carolina governor and United Nations representative sits in 3rd place in Iowa with just 16% support, or 35 points behind the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. Haley has not gained a single point since last month, despite the media's best efforts to pretend she is Nikki Surge Koch Darling. Koch Darling, the Koch brothers. That's amazing. There has been a 6-week infomercial in the news about Nikki Haley, and she hasn't gained 1 point. What the heck? Now, this article I'm reading in Breitbart is an op-ed piece by John Nolte. That's why it has salty language. So here we go. It says, gee, I'm confused because the never Trump-tards and corporate media assured me that his the field of candidates shrunk, someone would rise as a serious and threatening alternative to the former President Trump. That's true, and that was their act of desperation on that one was that, he's so far ahead because there's so many people running, they're splitting the vote, but a bunch have dropped out, and she still hasn't gained a point. And that's crazy. He's gained. So as candidates have dropped out, voters have been jumping to Trump. The field has shrunk, and now Trump is up 8 points, while Koch brothers Nikki Haley remains flat at 16. DeSantis has jumped 3 points, 1 point for every inch of his new heels, apparently. That's on the article. That's my joke, okay, guys? The field may have shrunk, but it may have made Donald Trump even stronger than he was, the pollster said. This is the Des Moines Register. I would call his leading commanding at this point. There's not much benefit of fewer candidates for either Ron DeSantis or Nikki Haley, according to the Des Moines Register. That's right. The unicorn dreams of hashtag GOP Smart said go down in flames. Iowa votes in less than 5 weeks. Now, back in 2016, listen to this. Trump lost Iowa in 2016 to Ted Cruz. I remember that. And, oh, man, remember the media? They were high-fiving. Trump lost Iowa in 2016 to Ted Cruz, 24.3 to 27.6%. The final Des Moines Register poll had Trump only up by 5 over Cruz, 28 to 23. But that's the key. In 2016, per the average polling, Trump only had 28.6% support in Iowa. When the voting was over, he earned 24.3. The polls were off by less than 4 points in 2016. Today, Trump is up over 30 points and polling near, at, or above 50. Wow. Everyone believes Nikki Haley can make her stand in New Hampshire, the second primary state where voting begins January 23rd. But Trump is up nearly 30% over Haley. Trump is polling much better in New Hampshire compared to 2016, and in 2016 he still won New Hampshire. Currently, Trump's polling average in New Hampshire puts him in first place with 45.7% of the vote. 8 years ago, Trump won New Hampshire with just 35.3% of the vote. John Kasich came in second with 15.8%. I forgot about John Kasich. The bottom line is Trump won in 2016, the GOP primary, and now he's way outperforming, and it's going great and spectacularly, and he is unbeatable in Iowa. Now, that doesn't mean, don't get too excited. We still need a big turnout, believe me, okay? The big negative about these polls is I don't want people to get too confident. Don't get too confident and say, it's cold, I can't make it, or I got to get up early in the morning, I can't make it. We still need everyone to show up, all right? But things are looking good. All right, let's take our first break. This is a very exciting day. My name is Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines.
Oh, my. Oh, if you love Trump, press 1, guys. We should have a lot of ones in there. I know I love Trump. Okay. Oh, here's another article. Oh, yes. I'm not used to wearing sweaters. I tucked my t-shirt in and it's too tight around my neck. I'm choking. I like my loose Florida clothes, but it's chilly this morning. Ah, yes. My MAGA hat will keep me warm. Look at all those ones, all that Trump love. Absolutely. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe if you're new. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Absolutely. One is not the loneliest number. Absolutely. One means MAGA. All right, now today is December 12th, and Mike Lindell has offered to Steve Kane listeners free shipping on all MyPillow products. Free shipping, that's right, with promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, on all MyPillow items. I was talking to my daughter last night. We took advantage of this immediately when Mike Lindell gave us free shipping on all MyPillow products until December 15th. The clock is ticking on that. And we bought my daughter a new bed. Because, you know, MyPillow, you can buy beds at MyPillow. Mattresses, full bed. She needed a new bed, you know. So we got her a new bed, new mattress, everything at MyPillow.com with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. It just arrived yesterday. She FaceTimed us and showed us. And so we're going to order sheets today. Because my wife said, let's get her some sheets. Let's get her some of the MyPillow flannel sheets. And it's free shipping. So it's free shipping on top of whatever the special is. Like right now, the MyPillow sheets, for example, as low as $24.98 with the promo code Kane at checkout. Not only do you get that low price, you get the free shipping on top of it. The MyPillow mattress topper 2.0, 50% off, but you also get free shipping on top of the 50% off, but only until December 15th. So you may want to start doing some Valentine's Day shopping as well, or shopping throughout the year. This is an offer that has never been given to us by Mike Lindell, and this was done by him personally. Remember, I called him up last week, and he said, yeah. So that's pretty amazing, but only until the 15th. It's a special Christmas sale. Free shipping on all items at MyPillow.com until the 15th, and today's the 12th. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, and that's free shipping on all items, no matter how big or small. You can get a little neck pillow that's just a couple of bucks. Free shipping on that too. No matter how small, no matter how big, you get the free shipping plus the special. Or again, online at 800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. All right, so here's another story on the polls. These polls are just spectacular. And, Trump has always been popular. Always. Since he came down the escalator. And what we're seeing for the first time in these polls is real polls on Donald Trump, right? They've been suppressing this since he came down the escalator. And we're seeing real polls for the very first time. And, you know, the thing about DeSantis is second place in Iowa. And he's been saying there's going to be surprises out of Iowa. And I think the surprise that DeSantis has been talking about is he's confident he's going to be in second place now. And he's going to declare that a victory. But why is he so far behind? Why is President Trump over the 50% mark in Iowa? This is what I think with DeSantis. And you've probably heard me say this before. I don't know if I've said this on the radio show. I know I've talked about this with my wife on my podcast. I think when, DeSantis has been to every county in Iowa. They have like 99 counties or something. In Florida, we have 67. And I thought that was a lot. But they have almost 100 counties in Iowa. And he's been to all of them. And I think, that, I'm not joking or making fun, but I think what happens with DeSantis and what's happened with him there is, well, first off, the betrayal of Trump and the MAGA movement. That doesn't help him. But I think when he walks into the room at these events, people are in shock at how short he is. I know I was, and I think that's part of it. And he's weird and uncomfortable around people. And in the early days of his campaigning in Iowa, there were people that were at these events that Ron DeSantis was holding, and they were talking about when he speaks, he only talks about donors. He doesn't talk about individual people. So that's one of the... Now, this is an article in Business Insider. Donald Trump holds Business Insider. So we got multiple sources here. Des Moines Register, Breitbart, now Business Insider. Donald Trump holds an unprecedented lead in Iowa just weeks before its first-in-the-nation caucuses, according to the latest edition of the most closely watched poll in the state of Iowa. The Des Moines Register NBC News Mediacom poll has Trump with a 32-point lead over Ron DeSantis. DeSantis, once Trump's best-positioned primary foe, is struggling to hold on to second place, where Nikki Haley is within 3 points, technically making that race too close to call for the second place. The poll has a 4.4 percentage point of error, which, still has Donald Trump with a landslide victory in Iowa. Trump's lead is all the more remarkable considering that much of Iowa's Republican political establishment is behind DeSantis, including Governor traitorous Kim Reynolds. Yeah, Kim Reynolds. She thinks she's going to be she thought at least, maybe she still does, his running mate. But I saw there was an event at the Iowa State Fair, and they had all the candidates in a room, and people were lined up to talk to different people. Ron DeSantis was talking to a group of people. It was Kim Reynolds and her family. Nobody else seemed interested in talking to him. And what it says here, this is an interesting thing. It says, President Trump's lead is all the more remarkable considering that much of Iowa's Republican political establishment is behind DeSantis, including Governor Kim Reynolds. See, that's the problem. The establishment leadership of the party is out of touch with the electorate. The field may have shrunk, but it may have made Donald Trump even stronger, according to pollster J. Ann Seltzer, president of Seltzer & Co., which conducted the Iowa poll, and said to the Des Moines Register, I would call this lead commanding at this point. There's not much benefit of fewer candidates for either DeSantis or Haley. Seltzer, who's the pollster, is regarded as the gold standard of Iowa pollsters, given her ability to come close to predicting the caucuses, which can be difficult given all the factors at play in the state, especially the potential number of first-time caucus goers. According to the poll, which is the gold standard of polls in Iowa, Trump's lead is so massive that he's ahead in every single demographic surveyed. Oh my goodness. What about those suburban women they're always whining about on Fox? Every demographic surveyed. Trump leads with every single age group, every type of resident, suburban, rural, or city, every income bracket, those who have a college degree. They always say, oh, well, he's ahead with those that haven't gone to college. The educated folk are behind the... No, not there. Trump is ahead among college graduates and those who did not go to college. He's ahead among those who are self-described evangelicals and those who are not. Trump is ahead among those who are self-described Republican caucus goers and independents in Iowa. Holy smokes. This may be the highest polling ever for a candidate. Trump does best without those without a college degree and who make less than $50,000. He's at 61% with those. He does better with men 65 and older and men without a college degree. He's got 66% of them. Even more concerning for Ron DeSantis, an earlier Iowa poll showed that he was tied with Trump among the total universe of likely Republican caucus goers. This is no longer the case. Trump still leads when Iowans opt first choice, second choice, and actively considering are all combined. Trump's lead over DeSantis it narrows to 9 points among everybody in the base. Haley is the only other candidate who's in the running in third place. It says here, DeSantis has staked so much of his campaign success on Iowa The fact that he is now losing ground despite having campaigned in each of the state's 99 counties is a major warning sign for an already struggling campaign. No Republican in recent memory has won the GOP presidential nomination without winning Iowa or one of the three other early states. Iowa's Republican caucuses will be held on January 15th. And this poll was done December 2nd through 7th, so this is very recent. Oh, my goodness. All right, now we're coming up on the bottom of the hour break. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I got a lot more to cover. I'm going to get into after the break. Kid Rock, who's one of President Trump's best friends, was interviewed by Tucker Carlson, and I got a couple of clips of that. And there are few people whose name is not Trump that are as close to Donald Trump as Kid Rock, and what he has to say, I think, is interesting. We'll get to that and a whole bunch more. All right. Again, our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1 888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. We'll be back right after our bottom of the hour break.
Making morning radio great again.
Be right back, guys. Oh, now let me show you this. Someone, they didn't give me their name. They sent me these super cool sweatshirts. And I like these. They got hoods on them. Good, I can wear these on the MAGA scooter. Here's the first one. Trump, Make America Great Again. And orange is my favorite color, by the way. So, it's the color of Kathy's car. But orange is my favorite color. In fact, orange is the color of my laptop case. Isn't that nice? And it's hooded. Awesome. And then they sent me another one. It's also hooded, and it's white. White and pure, just like Trump. Isn't that nice? So whoever sent these to me, thank you. Yeah, these are awesome. I will definitely use and wear those. Oh, I gotta find this. Yeah, those are very nice sweatshirts. Whoever sent those to me, thank you so much. Sweatshirts. Whoever sent those to me. Okay. Okay.
Those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a healthcare advocate at the touch of a button? Would that make life easier for you? You can with I Will Advocates.
I'll get to the Kid Rock, Tucker Carlson stuff in a few minutes, but I got something else that I got to get to first. This is what I'm going to share with you is insane.
Find a doctor, including a specialist. If you've been billed improperly by a doctor's office or a hospital, they can help you with that too. They'll even be your advocate when you're in the hospital to make sure you get the care you need and the care you deserve. And that's just the beginning of what they do. I Will Advocates takes care of all Steve Kane's healthcare issues too, and they'll do the same for you. I Will Advocate clients are family, and they go to bat for their family when you need them the most. Call Debbie at I Will Advocates right now. Toll free 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326.
Now, one of the world's most prestigious private classic car collections is open to the public. The Dower Museum of Classic Cars in Sunrise. 30,000 square feet of extraordinary vehicles, many one of a kind, and all restored to their original splendor. More than cars, the Dower collection also celebrates countless other American innovations throughout the years. Bring the whole family or host your next event with us. For information and tickets, visit DowerCars.com. Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right. We are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. Okay. This, we're going to get to Kid Rock and Tucker in a few minutes, but do you remember when the Obamas left the White House, they signed a deal to produce content for Netflix? Yeah, that's kind of been forgotten, hasn't it? And I don't watch a lot of Netflix. I got it, but I rarely watch it. I do like those K-dramas, the Korean shows. I do like the Korean shows. I really do. I do watch it. Especially the science fiction ones. They got some good stuff, you know. And sometimes they have, the Koreans will do Korean versions of American shows. Like there's a Korean version of that show with Kiefer Sutherland where he was like the Secretary of Housing or something and became the president. Remember that? What was that show called? Designated Survivor. They had a version of it in Korea. Oh my goodness. It was so much better than the American version. It was very good. I can't remember what they called it, but it's the Korean version of Designated Survivor. Well, anyway, the Obamas are producing content for Netflix, and it is some of the most racist content on the mainstream television since television has been in color. And I'm going to play you a clip in a minute, but it's called Leave the World Behind. And I've heard of Leave the World Behind. It's getting a lot of promo and talk. And it's on Netflix. Listen to this. This is in the Gateway Pundit. Netflix's new cyber apocalypse film, Leave the World Behind, warns... Now, when I say this, you will not have misunderstood what I'm going to say. Okay? What I'm about to say is what I've said. I have not misread this, and you have not misunderstood what I'm about to say. Now, remember, this film is co-produced by Barack and Michelle Obama. It stars Julia Roberts and Kevin Bacon. And this breaks my heart because I'm a big fan of Kevin Bacon, right? Footloose. Netflix's new cyber apocalypse film, Leave the World Behind, warns that white people should not be trusted during an apocalyptic disaster. The film's plot follows a white family vacationing in a rented house on Long Island. At the beginning of the movie, the vacation home's owner and his daughter arrive at their home after a major cyber attack occurs across the United States. And they're black. The owners of the home are black. Kevin Bacon and Julia Roberts are renting this home, right? I'm going to play you the audio in a moment. During one scene, the man and his daughter are seen together about to go to sleep, and his daughter states, "If the world falls apart, trust should not be doled out easily to anyone, especially white people." Listen to this. Oh my God. This is the new Barack and Michelle Obama produced series. I'm not sure if it's a series or a movie, but it's on Netflix. Listen to this. This is the clip. Pretty brutal. Hold on. I don't have. I'm so upset. I don't even have it queued up. Hold on. Here it is. Hold on, guys. Give me a minute. I just can't believe this is happening. All right, here we go.
I'm asking for you to remember that if the world falls apart, trust should not be doled out easily to anyone, especially white people. Even Mom would agree with me on that.
Even Mom would agree with me on that? I wonder if Mom's dead at this point and they're using Mom's memory. So apparently there was distrust in this black racist family towards white people before the apocalypse, but now you really can't trust white people. Can you imagine what is going on here? Where's, and I know when you talk about former presidents, they don't have a lot of relevancy, but this guy's running the White House right now. And this tells you so much about what you need to know about the Great Replacement Theory, the open southern border, this anti-Semitism, because Jews are white, they're part of the same thing. So all these things that are going on in our country today is right back to that. Now, I want to ask you guys this question. If you're producing something, if you are producing something, you have control over that content and you review that content. Would you allow your name to be on something that said something so racist about any group? I wouldn't. But Barack and Michelle, they don't even think anything's wrong with this. This didn't even to me, like if you're like an ex-president and you're reviewing the script and you see this racist line in the script, you say, well, we may be racist, we may not like those white folks, Michelle, but we got an image to protect. They need to cut that out. They can't have our name on that. But no, it's right there.
I'm asking for you to remember that if the world falls apart, trust should not be doled out easily to anyone, especially white people. Even Mom would agree with me on that.
Wow, I've seen almost every post-apocalyptic movie and television show ever, starting with, of course, The Road Warrior with Mel Gibson. I've never heard them distrust any particular group. They're always trying to, working together. It's very strange. The Obamas are racist, I think it's fair to say. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, here we go. First, yes, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes.
This is Rabbi David here.
Yeah, I can hear you, Rabbi. Oh my goodness, you're not calling from Israel, are you? We got a bad connection.
No. Let me say, I'll make it better because I'm in the car and it goes.
Okay.
Okay. Now you can hear me better. Great. So you hear me? Yes.
Yes. Gotcha, Rabbi.
Good. I saw that film.
Oh, tell me about it.
I saw. First of all, it's Ethan Hawke and Julia Roberts are the couple renting the place. Kevin Bacon plays like a Republican with a rifle, not letting people get medicine.
Oh my goodness!
That's what he plays. He plays a very small part.
Okay.
It is. Let me tell you, it's not just that Barack and Michelle, kind of look this thing over. Their name comes up first, huge on the screen. They did everything for this film.
Mm-hmm.
They even read articles that they helped write part of it, and they were on top of it. This couple is renting this home on Long Island, and this black a couple show up in a tuxedo with a beautiful car, and still the white people look and go, how could you possibly own this house?
Oh my goodness. So it's a script from like 1950.
Yeah. I mean, today people don't do that. I mean, I'm around white people. I know that we don't talk like that. We don't do that. It is, and it brings up the environment. It's a terrible movie, but it brings up every type of thing, environment. They don't even know what kind of film it's supposed to be, why the world was destroyed, or what's going on. It's they don't know what they want to be,
Well, based on this one line, I'm sure whatever caused the apocalypse must have been a white guy's fault. The white people did it.
Yeah. Well, the black guy at the end, the actor says, I should have known this was going to happen. I knew, whatever it was. He's the one that figured it all out. And by the way, if you look at the names of who wrote it, who directed it, and who was the African American star in it, these are all I don't know if they're Muslim or Arab names or whatever. It's just. This is what he did. He finally, they gave him hundreds of millions of dollars.
You know what it is? It's a modern day Birth of a Nation in reverse.
Yeah. It's really
ugly
and anti-white. I mean, this is what he came up with. I was horrified watching it. I couldn't believe it. They tried to make it like a horror film or something, post-apocalyptic film. I can't believe there's not more written about it, as far as what this guy was.
Yeah.
Obama.
But it seems to me that this movie, and by the way, don't worry about spoiling the end. You can't spoil crap, okay? That it seems to me that what we're getting is a view of Barack and Michelle's vision of what America is like. Right? This is their view of America. You can't trust white people.
Yeah. This is what they think, or what they want people to think.
Yeah.
Even though people, I mean, they're accepted among white people all the time. The Obamas, white people love them. They hang out with white people. But this is what they want to control in people's minds, to let people think.
Yeah.
But you pegged it. It's like a 1940s, 1950s thing where people look, a black person drives a nice car.
Yeah, guess who's coming to dinner? Yeah, exactly. I mean, give me a break. This is so stupid. It's so insulting. But hey, by the way, it's unfortunate that you call. I'm glad you called in about this because you offer a lot of insight. But to talk to a rabbi with what's going on, I got a story coming up of I'm going to play a local news story out of Beverly Hills. A Jewish couple was hit on the back of the head walking down the street, and they said, "Give me your stuff, Jew," as they beat them and stole from them. The level of anti-Semitism that we're seeing in this country, and I don't think this is an exaggeration. It's 2023 America, but it seems like 1933 Germany.
Yeah, maybe 19 right before that, when people they come out of their shell. And thank you, Mr. Biden. Really, everyone thought that Trump, the racist, was going to. Thank you, Mr. Biden, for creating this world we live in, from globally anti-Semitic to locally anti-Semitic. But he really pulled it off. I mean, you got to be very talented to do that.
I've never seen anything like it. Yesterday there was an exchange. I played out of California, all this anti-Semitism, where these coffee shop workers wouldn't let a Jewish woman go to the ladies' room, and they blocked her and said, "You Jews like to steal other people's private property. This coffee shop's private property. You can't use our bathroom." What's going on here is really a redo of what happened in Germany as the Nazis took control, when the brown shirts were in the streets attacking Jews for the first time. And it's not in black and white film that we are removed from. This is happening in real time and full color HD video, 4K on cell phones, and I'm disgusted.
Yeah, and folks, let's all understand, it's not the right wingers that are doing this; it's the left that's doing it. There's the National Socialists that are doing it.
That's right.
It's that's who's doing it. All this fear of us going, saying
the Democratic Socialist that we got here. Yeah. Hey, Rabbi, it's good to hear from you. Thanks so much for your call, and I appreciate the comment on the film. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
If you're suffering suffering from burning, tingling, or numb feet, you need to pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Corey Hennessy, DC, Innate Healthcare. Dr. Hennessy, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is actually nerve damage to the feet and legs.
And what are the symptoms?
The major symptoms of neuropathy are numbness, tingling, burning, muscle cramps, coldness in the hands and feet, and problems with balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It is treatable. We've seen some great results.
Call 954-633-7003 today to schedule your nerve damage screening. This screening will tell you if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe that there's nothing that can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. Call 954-633-7003. The first 25 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Space is limited. Call 954-633-7003.
When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Godet Brighton.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on air.
Indeed. Welcome back, one and all. Don't forget, come meet me and Steve Kane Sunday at 2 p.m. at Wings Plus, the Sample Road location in Coral Springs. Remember, if you're coming from the north, the Treasure Coast, or you're coming from the south down in Miami, you can exit either the Turnpike or I-95 at Sample Road and head west. Wings Plus is located about a mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road. You can also take I-75 the Sawgrass to Sample Road and then head east. All right, but Wings Plus is located on the south side of Sample Road, about 1 mile west of University Drive. Steve and I will be there. I'll be there at 2. Steve's going to go early because there's a kickoff. He doesn't want to miss the kickoff. And this is our first appearance we've done in maybe about a year and a half. It's going to be a great one. You're all invited. We're going to have a great time. And, of course, the food is, a lot of people don't know, we've done a lot of events at Wings Plus with politicians. We had Herman Cain there, Newt Gingrich. I was there for the DeSantis fundraiser last year. Remember that? And a bunch of other people. It's a very conservative place, let me tell you. We had a big party there on Trump's inauguration day. It was huge. It was standing room only. And we called it the Bye Bye Bomba Bash. Any of you guys were at our Bye Bye Bomba Bash? It was at Wings Plus on Sample Road in Coral Springs. It was standing room only on that, and then at noon it became a Trump rally. We had a great time. So you're all invited. That's this Sunday at 2 Wings Plus. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Todd sitting on the Palmetto parking lot.
Okay.
I watched the movie that I would best call it. I watched it knowing that Obama was the one that produced it, so I kind of like put it under the heading of opposition research.
Yeah.
I would call it Obama's wet dream.
Is that really appropriate? Is that appropriate description? How about his twisted fantasy? That's a little cleaner for families. Yeah. Obama's twisted fantasy of America.
Yeah, it was a cyber attack, and then but they had, it was just like, it made no sense. Like, then they had like these sound wave attacks, like they were getting like hit with these sound waves, and it caused one of the kids to lose his teeth. It was just...
You know, the thing about Obama, you know, when he had his book, Dreams of My Father, he had his autobiography, and what we did we did something pretty clever with that. I went out and I got the CDs of that, and I had to listen to the whole thing. It was like 5 CDs narrated by Obama talking about himself, and we would play clips of it on the air. And one of them, he was talking about his white grandmother. You know, he was raised by his white grandparents in Hawaii, and I remember this line from Obama's book, and it was in his own voice. He says, "My grandmother was a typical white person. When she was sitting on the bus and saw a black man she did not know, she would grab her purse a little closer to her." A typical white person. He said the white grandmother who raised him is a typical white person who's racist. That's what he said of his own grandmother. That's Obama. And, you know, so he's a racist through his bones.
Yeah, and that's the people that loved him, that raised him, and it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he definitely, this show, if you watch it knowing that, you kind of look at it differently, because you kind of like see what they're actually doing. You can actually see the agenda behind everything, and like the way they see, you know, everybody. It really tells a lot.
Yeah.
Educational.
I'd like to see Netflix do an investigative documentary, true crime film on the Obama chef mystery. That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah.
That's not coming. Yeah, what was he cooking with Obama? All right, appreciate the call. Thanks so much. Oh, man, yeah, I know. Well, I was going to get to this later, but since Rabbi David, I mentioned this to him. You know, the anti-Semitic attacks going on in this country are national embarrassment, and they're being covered up. I've been playing them. Yesterday, I had those Nazi youth in the Oakland, California coffee shop that wouldn't let the Jewish woman into the toilet, and they said, you know, there's terrible anti-Semitic things there. History didn't begin in 1948, lady. You remember all that stuff? I played that yesterday, and this is a real national embarrassment. There's scary stuff going on. You know, there's always going to be racist, right? People that don't like people because of different things, religion, skin color. You know, like the Obamas, but because people don't get, I mean, in your own family, do you get along with everyone in your own family? Probably not, unless you have a real tiny family. There's always going to be differences among people. And, you know, this idea that there's never going to be differences and conflicts, that's just not human. I mean, but what's going on here, it's the level of it. And we really, truly have never seen a level of hatred against Jews like we're seeing. I referenced this with Rabbi David. I found this on the local news out of Los Angeles. And I watch I know you probably hear a lot of stories that I have out of California because my daughter lives in Los Angeles. I follow the local news out there, okay? And because she, you know, my daughter's out there and I want to see what's going on. And I've warned her of things. I asked her about that coffee shop. Yesterday I was talking to her last night when she was showing us her new MyPillow bed and all that. And it's nowhere near her, thankfully so. But, yeah, so I follow a lot of the local news out of California, mostly Southern California. So this is from the local news in Los Angeles. A Jewish couple attacked walking down the sidewalk in Beverly Hills. Listen to them tell their story. This is really scary.
Becca and Rafi were on their weekly walk to Beverly Hills Synagogue Saturday morning when a man ran up behind them near the intersection of Rexford Drive and Santa Monica Boulevard.
And all of a sudden, I saw the guy hitting my husband with the belt and screaming, sorry, give me your earrings, Jew.
The attacker hitting Rafi again and again.
And the first one was a shock.
Okay, you know, and this thing, give me your earrings, Jew, that's almost like a justification. Like, it's okay to do this. You understand? This is Nazi Germany. Hitler Youth, brown shirts.
Sorry. Give me your earrings, Jew.
The attacker hitting Rafi again and again.
And the first one was a shock. There was a huge, hard knock on my forehead here.
And though the belt's buckle left his face and clothes drenched in blood,
I decided that we could just let it go.
the couple in their 70s started chasing the attacker.
He took off his shoes on Rexford Drive. He was running, I guess, better without shoes.
Luckily, a Beverly Hills police officer spotted the commotion.
And within a few seconds, there were police cars from all sides.
And just after 9 a.m., officers caught and arrested 44-year-old Jairus J. Salaki.
Jairus Jane Salaki. What kind of name is that? Does anyone know?
It's better without shoes.
Luckily, a Beverly Hills police officer spotted the commotion.
And within a few seconds, there were police cars from all sides.
And just after 9 a.m., officers caught and arrested 44-year-old Jairus J. Salaki.
I was really enraged. Not because of the thing, because I was hit as a Jew.
Another moment earlier this week, evoking flashbacks of childhood in a post-World War II Austria.
And our grandson is turning towards me and he said, should I take off my kippah? And that, for me, that was a shock. I think if a 13-year-old boy already understands that there might be danger in wearing part of what we were supposed to wear proudly.
Okay, so now what we have is we have her grandson who wants to turn himself into a walking Anne Frank hiding in the attic and hide that he's a Jew. This is America today. This is America 2023. Biden's America.
But even in chaos, their faith was not forgotten.
She'll go home, bring me a white shirt, she did.
And Rafi returned to synagogue just in time for his reading from the Torah.
There's 80 other people waiting for that. And it will be a much bigger blow with a little bit of blood.
I know Rafi. I knew he was coming back. He's a hero. His wife, Rebecca, is a hero. These are the types of people that we all look up to.
The menorah for many Jews holding extra hope this Hanukkah.
So I hope that with the help of God, they will bring down evil and the light will shine. And next year on Hanukkah, it will be a very bright light.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you got some fentanyl addict who dies being arrested by a cop, and America burns. They pass legislation. They build community centers, and they make someone a saint. Jews have been murdered and are being attacked on a daily basis simply for being a Jew in this country by liberals, by the left, by Democrats. Where's the discussion of the epidemic of anti-Semitic attacks in this country? I've missed it. I got to go to local news to find it. It's not mentioned in the national news. 1 hour down, 2 to go. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown.
All right, when we get back, I'm going to get into Kid Rock. Now, guys, still time for Christmas. Order your Mighty Mega Lion. This is the Beanie Baby of Christmas 2023. This is the Cabbage Patch Doll of 2023. Everybody wants it. And it's, of course, the Mighty Mega Lion, available exclusively through me. There's a link pinned in the chat. So you can click that link pinned in the chat. There's a link in the description, or you can just go to the website, MightyMegaLion.com, MightyMegaLion.com, and order yours. And, of course, the only Trump-inspired merchandise wearing the MAGA hat. Absolutely. And he comes in a great box that's perfect for wrapping, okay? And we also, we put in some nice tissue paper that goes in like you put in with packages and everything else. You can just wrap the box up and put it under the tree. Or you can order and have it sent directly to the recipient. Also, if you order more than one, you get a discount. MightyMegaLion.com, guys. Order yours. You'll love it. And very well made, high quality. This guy, I've been bringing this guy to and from the radio station every day for months. And I took him all the way out to California to visit Trump's star on the Walk of Fame. And look, it looks brand new because they're very well made. MightyMegaLion.com. Remember, if you order more than one, you get a discount. Let's see, where are we? Okay, let me pull up the Kid Rock. Now, this promo that I do with Alexa, I recorded this whole thing on my cell phone. It's absolutely amazing. I added music to it because my house, I have tile to my living room, so there's a little echo. So I added music to it to cover up some of the echo from the tile in the room. But this was recorded on my iPhone. It's 25 seconds away. I'll turn it up so you can hear it. I couldn't believe how good it came out. I got up to the device and put the voice memo on my iPhone. I was in shock. Okay, it's right after this. Listen.
Now to get your free doorbell camera and free home security system. 1-833-283-5050.
Shield your home, the slogan Shield.
Alexa, what's the longest running radio show in the state of Florida?
The Steve Kane Show, which has been on the air since 1977, is the longest running radio show in Florida.
The Steve Kane Show, weekday mornings, right here on True Oldies.
Isn't that cool? Crazy. Just right in the iPhone memo. I could not believe that memo recording, how well it came out. One take, too.
The True Oldies channel wants to send you to see the legendary Judy Collins at the Broward Center for the Performing Arts. With an incredible career spanning 7 decades, Judy Collins is sure to delight and amaze.
Yeah, you know, longest running radio show. You gotta own that. You know, I don't know any of Kid Rock's music offhand. I mean, I'm sure I've heard his music, but I really don't know his music. I know everybody will pretend to be a lifelong fan of every song Kid Rock ever recorded today, but I don't have to know his music to like the guy. All right. Coming back in 35 seconds.
air since 1977. It's the Steve Kane Show with...
All right, hour number 2 has begun. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Don't forget, Sunday at 2, Wings Plus, the Sample Road location in Coral Springs. Come meet Steve Kane and me, Brian Craig. You are all invited. And you know what? These things, a lot of the weird or chronics callers tend to show up. So you'll get to meet some of those guys, too. I'm sure. They always show up. There was one of the guys. I remember there was this one guy. Nah, I won't tell that story right now. But maybe later. I'll wait till later. I don't want to get distracted. Okay, so Kid Rock is the latest to be interviewed by Tucker Carlson. And a lot of people may not realize this, but Kid Rock is one of President Trump's closest personal friends. It's not a business relationship. He doesn't work on the campaign. He doesn't have business interests. They're really friends. And if you ever see them together, you can tell, okay? You know, it's not a media arrangement. I mean, they're really personal friends, and they hang out all the time together in private, go golfing together and things like this. And so he gives some interesting perspective on President Trump. And this interview with Tucker, a lot of it was about him. I don't know too much about Kid Rock. I'm sure I've heard his music, but I don't know one of his songs off the top of my head. I mean, if you played a song and said, oh, this is Kid Rock's biggest hit, I'm sure I'd recognize it. But you don't have to know his music or listen to his music to appreciate the guy. Now, I'm sure, I was talking about this during the break, every conservative in the country is going to pretend today to be the biggest fan of every song that Kid Rock ever recorded. And I like the guy, don't get me wrong. And I'm sure I've enjoyed his music. I just don't know any of his songs offhand. But that's okay. But he talked about President Trump. He talked about a couple of things involving President Trump, including the fraud real estate trial going on in New York. So here's the first clip. This is Tucker Carlson with Kid Rock. Let me pull this up. Here we go. Hold on. Okay, we got everything going. Yes, we're good to go.
And he's unaffected, in your experience, by everything that's happening.
Oh, is he pissed off? Sure.
Yeah, but he doesn't seem broken at all.
I don't want to speak out of school, but, yeah, who's not going to hem and haw a little bit about the people that are doing this to him? These people in New York. It's a freaking joke.
Yeah.
I mean, one Google search on Zillow, property in Palm Beach. There's like a couple acres that comes up on the water. It's $200 million.
Yeah.
And they're like, Mar-a-Lago's only worth $17 million.
Yeah, exactly. I did a YouTube video on that. You guys should watch. I pulled up Zillow, the whole map of the whole area, and it shows Mar-a-Lago and all the homes around Mar-a-Lago. And there was an empty lot selling for like $50-something million. There's not even a house on it. It's dirt right next to Mar-a-Lago. But, yeah, let me go back and play the whole thing uninterrupted.
He's unaffected, in your experience, by everything that's happening.
Oh, is he pissed off? Sure.
Yeah, but he doesn't seem broken at all.
I don't want to speak out of school, but, yeah, who's not going to hem and haw a little bit about the people that are doing this to him? These people in New York. It's a freaking joke.
Yeah.
I mean, one Google search on Zillow, property in Palm Beach. There's like a couple acres that comes up on the water. It's $200 million.
Yeah.
And they're like, Mar-a-Lago's only worth $17 million. It's like, well, you are a stupid son of if you say that.
Yeah.
He takes loans from the bank, whatever, he pays them all back, everybody makes money. There's no crime here.
Yeah. I mean, who can argue with that? There's nothing inaccurate about what he says, because this is a purge. This is a political witch trial. They don't like Donald Trump. This is a political show trial. It's a fake trial. This judge is a corrupt judge doing the job for a very corrupt government, because Donald Trump is winning in all the polls, like the ones I talked about at the top of the last hour out of Iowa. He goes on. This is Kid Rock. This is Tucker Carlson's latest interview. He interviewed Kid Rock.
It's completely, anybody who can't just blinded.
Yeah.
I know the guy speaks out of turn a little bit, says some things. I can relate.
Yes.
I do it myself, quite often, because I just say what's on my mind, and I can get that, but I don't know how you look at his track record, what he did, and how he had this country fired on all cylinders when he was in office. Everybody working, our military's the strongest. He's leading with, strength, and borders, under control, just energy independent. You can go on and on. I don't get it, I understand, because it seems like it's a lot of women, like, in my life and stuff, they're like, I don't like the way he talks. It's like, come on. You're not putting him in the office to hear him talk nice.
Exactly. Now, of course, they're going to call him a sexist because he said it's like a bunch of women. I don't like the way he talks. Well, he's right about that. I don't like the mean tweets. I miss the mean tweets. And I hope President Trump gets back on Twitter, don't you? Oh, man. Now that Alex Jones is back and Trump did that interview with Tucker, he understands the power of it. I'm not sure why he's not back there. Maybe he will next year. Maybe he'll start getting back on Twitter regularly. But everything Kid Rock said right there, you know, of course he's a close personal friend of President Trump's, but also, you know, he the thing about Kid Rock that makes him so popular is one of the reasons Trump is so popular. Regular people relate to him. He's not just some, I don't know, is he rock music? I don't know. Is he that hillbilly rock? I don't even know what kind of music Kid Rock's is. It's kind of like that hillbilly rock stuff. I don't know, maybe a little bit, whatever it is. I'm sure it's good. He's very rich and successful. Everybody loves him. But he relates to the everyday guy. And when Trump's talking or Kid Rock, they're talking like just some guy that you're, you know, in line with at a gas station or, you know, or you're in a bar with or your buddies you're hanging out on the weekend. And it's just plain speaking common sense. And everything he said is accurate. And I think Kid Rock's view is the view that the average American has of President Trump and these trials and everything that he's going through. Okay, I got one other clip. This is Tucker Carlson's latest interview. It's with Kid Rock. He talked about a lot of things, but I pulled up two clips of when he was talking about Trump. The other stuff, he talked a lot about Bud Light and stuff and everything else, which I didn't find all that interesting. But the stuff about Trump, I did.
Trump. You've seen Trump a lot recently. How's he doing?
Toughest son of a on the earth. I tell you, he's doing great. It's incredible.
Well, so without like betraying the details of your conversations, you've been with Trump a bunch of times since he got indicted and the world has kind of crashed in around him. How does he seem?
Can't tell.
Really?
Oh, I mean, when we're golfing or we're hanging out in different scenarios here and there, it's his spirits are always up, and he's always talking about this country. He's always talking about this country and how he wants to win for it. He likes to win in anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Anything. When we're golfing, like, you know, I won $100 from him at the UFC. I don't think he was too happy about it. But
what'd you bet on?
We were betting on fights. You know, we're just picking guys, you know, to make it more interesting.
Yeah.
And man, somebody that's in that office, in any office, that wants to win for this country, man, I've never seen anybody who wants to win for this country like that. And I don't think we'll ever see anything like it in our lifetime. I mean, he's the greatest president we've had.
Yeah, exactly. 100. You know, that $100, man, if I won $100 off Trump, I'd ask him to sign it, and then I would frame it and never spend it. It'd be like a collector's item. You know what that $100 bill would be worth? That $100 bill would be worth thousands of dollars. Oh, man. But, you know, this interview with Kid Rock, I don't think it's going to get as much play or publicity as some of these other interviews Tucker has done, because he's speaking so plainly and accurately about Donald Trump. And, you know, there's nothing you can take issue with that. I dare you to challenge anything that Kid Rock said to Tucker about President Trump. You just can't. All right, we'll take our first break of this hour. There's so much more to cover, and I'm going to jump right into some other things because there's a lot of news to cover, and I'm trying to get through it all. I hope I'm not talking as fast as Ben Shapiro, but I might be getting closer to that as the show goes on because there's so much to fit in and so little time. Our number is toll-free. You're welcome to call in about any and everything I've brought up so far on the program. Our number, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-CANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey. What's going on?
If you talk to Steve, tell him I'll give him a call later today.
Oh, okay.
I've just been super jammed with...
Are you doing middays over there?
Yeah, just this week I'm covering for someone.
How long does it take you to get there in the mornings?
I'm heading there now. So
You'll just make it.
Yeah, and then like I have like when I'm done I got to do like production, like commercials, voice stuff. So I've just been like, he called me yesterday, but I was on the air.
Oh, okay. I'll tell him. I'll touch him after the show. I'll tell him.
Tell him that I have it on my calendar to call him today, like around 2:30, 3 o'clock.
I'll tell him.
So I'll give him a call, when I
Okay.
get my head
I hear you.
together.
I'll tell him. I'll tell him right I get off the air. I'll tell him.
Running in a million directions.
I hear you. I know that's a long drive. This time of day too, it sucks.
Yeah,
Actually.
I'm just covering for my boss down there. So.
Okay. No problem. That's the owner of the radio station. He's doing middays and DJing in Miami. If someone's on vacation at a radio station in Miami, he's a DJ. He's doing middays there.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9.
Oh boy, here we go, guys.
Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, welcome back. If you're on hold, stand by. Today I got to go to Friendly Tire in Margate. I got in my car today, and the light came on for the tires. And I did, everything's so computerized now, and one of my tires was pretty low, and I was like, it's cold, it affects the gauge. So I went and put air in the tire, and by the time I got to the radio station, I ran over something. Oh my goodness. And I'm going to go over there. He does tire repairs at Friendly Tire in Margate. But there's been times his tires are so cheap that instead of a repair, I'll just buy new tires sometimes. I've done that more than once. But and I've got run flats on the car. So if I need a new tire, so what? It's Friendly Tire. The prices are the lowest you'll find anywhere. I used to dread buying tires my whole life. And I can't tell you how many times, and I'm sure this has happened to you, I was out on the highway with tires that were not safe because they're so expensive. You put them off. You don't have to do that. Friendly Tire in Margate, you'll get great prices. Let me give you his number. Now, when you call Friendly Tire in Margate and he gives you a price quote over the phone, remember, that's out the door and on the road. There's no added charges, right? He doesn't charge you to balance the tire, mount the tire, or dispose of your old tire. All right? Out the door and on the road. The number, 954-977-9445. I can't tell you how many times I'm over there and I'll hear a customer talking. They call him, they get a price, and then they're like, whatever. And then they shop around. They can't find anything close to Friendly Mike and Friendly Tires prices, and they're back. Give them a call, 954-977-9445. All right? All right, let's go. To the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. This is Richie. How are you this morning?
All right, Richie the bus driver. What's up?
You got Tucker Carlson talking Kid Rock, and I understand him because he's preaching to the choir. I mean, we all know that President Trump is not crumbling under this pressure. But if you turn on your regular television, that's all you hear, that he's losing it. He's losing. He's crumbling, and their narrative. They're so against reality. They need reality checks. The media is so off in this country. You don't see Kid Rock on Sunday TV, do you? Do you see him on Meet the Press?
Yeah, but you know what? Who's watching that stuff? 3 people are watching that.
Yeah, but you know who's out there on the other side of how President Trump. Kid Rock says he's a wonderful man, he's for the country and everything. You got Liz Cheney out there on every stinking show, this witch. I mean, this total witch.
Yeah.
That's just poison.
And you know, the thing with, you know, Liz Cheney, the Ava Braun of the Uniparty, you know, I see her, she wears like, she's got like this expensive pearl necklace on. Those are blood pearls. You know, those are blood pearls. You see her diamond wedding ring? That's a blood diamond from her father's war crimes lying about WMDs. So here she's wearing blood diamonds, blood pearls, and her father, how many people are dead or maimed or missing limbs because of her dad's lies, and she's a profiteeress of it, and she's calling out the morality of Donald Trump. She's a disgusting person.
She's only been in Congress I think she was in Congress, 4 years or something?
Yeah, something.
She's worth about $44 million.
Yeah.
What the hell, where did she make her money?
War crimes, fake, WMDs.
Father's worth $90-something million. Where did he get his money? Politics his whole freaking life.
More blood money.
The bottom line is these people are so disgusting. It's beyond reproach anymore. I mean, the press is so complicit to put this woman on every show. She's on everything. CNN, MSNBC, ABC, all of them. She's just a piece of garbage. That's number one. Number two, you got a president of the United States. You were bringing up about the Jews getting attacked in this country. Again, it's the media. It's our president of the United States. It's the Democratic Party.
Well, if you remember, I got a call from someone yesterday who says, well, the reason that Jews are being attacked is because of Israel. Like it was a justification for it, you know, and not a condemnation.
No, the media. I mean, my God, it's the President of the United States. You remember he just had a speech last August about white supremacy being the biggest threat to this country. Seen too many white supremacists out there. I mean, this is a total. And
I'll tell you, all these attacks on Jews, I haven't seen the neo-Nazi white supremacists do it from Charlottesville or Liberty Front. It's Democrat metrosexual baristas in coffee shops in California.
Why don't you see blacks on the news every day like you were seeing for a short period of time, punching Asians in the face and knocking them into the street and kicking them just because they were Asian?
Yeah.
This is such a division in this country. And I'm blaming blacks for that because they're brainwashed through this press. They hate whites because they're brainwashed through the press. They hate Asians because the press puts them. In other words, the press is so poison to this country. That's the biggest thing President Trump's got it right. They're the enemy of the people. Anyone doesn't believe that. The narratives that they push every week, when you start seeing the
media are a poison. But remember, they're an arm of the deep state. They're an arm of the deep state. That's the way it is, you know.
Romney was on Meet the Press, anti-Trump, this Sunday. Romney. Then they had the that's another Republican.
So they're talking. When they have people like Romney on or Liz Cheney and these, their audience are the establishment Koch brother people. Okay, they're So the thing about Kid Rock though, I understand. It's preaching to the choir. Don't be so sure about that. A huge chunk of listeners to this program and all my content are liberals. You'd be surprised. You know this. So and many people that every time Steve and I do an appearance, people come up to us who say, I used to be a Democrat, I used to be a liberal, and I listened to you guys for however long. Yeah, it does happen. I have not done an appearance in 15 years where I haven't had at least one or two people tell me that.
No, I mean, Brian, I get it. You're doing a great job with this. But the thing, and you're educating these morons. But to think that the press is so corrupt in this country that they don't think...
Well, that's why I tune them out. The only reason cable news is on my radar at all is because Steve, watches it so much. I don't even watch Newsmax anymore. I do not watch any television news. 5 minutes a week, maybe, if there's a breaking story. I just don't watch it. I do not get my news from the mainstream information news at all. If something interesting happens, I might pull it up offline or social media or something, but I don't watch any of it. It's propaganda. It's It's Baghdad Bob. It's Goebbels.
Yeah, I just saw how it became like this, and they're so blatant about it.
Well, they were always lit. Listen, here's the thing about the mainstream media. You know, there was a time when they weren't bad. In the Second World War, the mainstream media were like American Army uniforms. Remember, like they're those. Yeah, it's true. CBS, ABC, NBC, Associated Press. They were wearing U.S. Army officer uniforms without rank insignia in the Second World War. Roosevelt, before D-Day, brought in the Washington Press Corps and said, tomorrow we're going to invade Normandy. And they kept their mouths shut. So there was a time, you know what it was? It was Vietnam. It was Vietnam, man. That's what did it.
The war correspondents going into Vietnam, putting these stories out there for the left to hear and for the United States to turn their backs on the soldiers.
Richie, I'm late. I got to run, but take care. Good call. If you're on hold, stand by. Back after this.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're going to really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Yeah, Vic's doing middays on 97.3. Have you heard him? You ever heard him?
I didn't hear him on the radio, but he told me.
You know, I used to, a long time ago, run the board there on the weekends. It was another station. It used to be a rock station, 97.3 GTR, and then it was this thing called The Coast. But on the weekends, they used to do like public service talk shows. Like they would do a show like Talking to the Humane Society or Overcoming Alcohol Addiction and stuff like this, and they were all recorded on tape. And they were on reel-to-reel tapes. So board ops would go in and you would just play. They didn't play music then, so you just would play the tapes and then drop the spots in. You'd have to pause the tapes. I didn't work there. I just filled in there a few times. I wasn't like but yeah, they used to be next door to a talk radio station, WIOD, 610 WIOD. Yeah, but it's a big station. Oh my gosh, it's
kind of cool though. Like, I still want to get to that point at some point. Maybe do an overnight one day or something like that.
Yeah.
Get a little practice, especially overnight. I feel like that'd be like good practice.
Well, when I started, I worked at. I was trying to get into those music stations, and then what had happened is I got a job on the air at a talk station. I do a 3-hour show. And my friends that were all DJs, they were talking like 3 minutes an hour, maybe. And I'm talking 3 hours. So, well, they don't talk much. The DJs don't talk much.
Doing that now is just mind-blowing.
You know? So I'm like, am I going to talk for 3 minutes an hour? Or am I going to talk for like 53 minutes an hour? You know?
See,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
That's understandable. You pick and choose at that point. Depends on.
Well, I was working. I'm sure you're talking about this. I was working. I wasn't on the air, but I was working at a big station, Y100, 100.7 FM. It's still around. It's the oldest. It's like the oldest FM in town. It just turned 50 or something, or 60 or 50. And I left there to go work at this little tiny AM. And all my friends there said, "You're stupid. That's the biggest station." I said, "Yeah, but they're going to let me talk for 3 hours a night." On the radio. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not even on the air here, so what am I going to do?
I never went to WRMF and stuff like that.
Yes.
It's because this is a smaller, when I first joined here,
yeah.
It was a smaller station. And
yeah.
I was like, I can move here.
You get to do more here than, yeah.
Because what I was always told with the big stations, they'll throw you to promotions first, and if you're good at promotions, they're going to keep you.
Yeah, you'll never leave.
So I was like,
and then all you'll do is be driving around giving people their prizes all day, because that's what they do.
I'll do it here if I'm needed.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm here and I'm doing what I'm actually needing to do.
That station though that he's at, that station is like a legendary Miami, 97.3. It's a legendary Miami station.
To be like that, to have like a station like that in Miami, especially, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's on Sheridan in 95. There's a whole bunch of radio stations in there, Hot 105. Steve and I used to be right next door to that at another station we were on. I can't remember the other station.
It's kind of cool. It's funny. All the stations that I've known and seen so far are always off of the Turnpike or 95. Always.
Yeah.
Where you go.
But that's a tough drive from here.
Yeah, I'm happy I do it in the morning because there's no traffic.
Oh, this is one of those moments like in the real world. Watch what happens when they forget the cameras are on. It's the real, I forgot you guys were there. No, I knew you guys were there. I was just having a conversation with Mike. What happened to Newsmax 2? They should have they should have me on Newsmax 2 if it's still around. Did it go off the air? Don't you think I'd be great on Newsmax 2? Taking live calls. Oh my goodness. I'd love to be on Newsmax 2. I just, the thing with the cable news. First off, I'm very, very busy, so I don't really have a lot of time. And the TV news is too slow. When's the last time you turn on the cable news and you hear something new discussed? And they have the same 3 or 4 topics that they do for a whole day. It's just too slow. All right, we're back. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. The phones are cooking. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning. This is Renee from Palm Beach County.
Hey, Renee.
Just want to comment on the Kid Rock comment on, women and voting for Trump. I might agree with him. I voted for Trump. I'll vote for Trump again. And one of the things with women, I think he might not get some of their vote because women sometimes can't separate emotions, right?
Yeah.
Things to not vote for him. But if we all put the country first, right, women should be voting for Trump.
Okay, let me tell. I think when I agree with you on that. But, when Kid Rock says they're like women, he doesn't mean actually women. He means men are acting like women, which is not a jab at women. It's just, men complaining about, oh, he speaks so, they've turned a lot of men into women in this country. They're emotional.
I agree with that. But listen, in talking to a lot of women, I know a lot of women that will not vote for Trump.
Why? Their abortions? They're worried about their abortions that they're too old to have?
It has to do with abortions, and it has to do with some of the things that they feel he portrays towards women.
Oh, please.
Exactly. You've got to separate that.
Are they talking about that Access Hollywood grab them by the thing? That. Okay. First off, what he was saying. If you guys go back and watch that, okay, Donald Trump wasn't going around grabbing women there. He said, if you go back and listen to that tape with Billy Bush, the Access Hollywood tape, it was his first time out in Hollywood since he became a TV star with The Apprentice. And he was talking about how sleazy the Hollywood starlets are. He says these women out here are so easy that you can go up to them and they'll let you grab them there. That's the low quality women that are in Hollywood. He wasn't advocating doing that or suggesting he himself do it. He was talking about how sleazy these Hollywood women are. And look, how many of them went to hotel rooms with Harvey Weinstein. You know, so I don't think there was anything wrong with what he said. It was a statement on the low-class casting couch women of Hollywood.
And I don't disagree with you at all. I'm just trying to give you a perspective from some females, right? When we talk about some votes that Trump might not get, women vote with emotion way too much, and they're not looking at the...
Well, what women... You know what women should do? Listen, women should vote with their grocery bill, okay? They should vote with their grocery bill. And in most homes, no matter what the situation is, women run the family home budget, right, and handle the spending and the bills and everything, not men. And women more than men know how inflation is impacting their family. Okay, they know. You know, even me myself, if I'm going to go make a purchase, like it's something that's going to cost a little bit of money, I'll call my wife first and say, "Hey, is it okay, hon, if I buy?" She'll say, "Yeah." But so I think women understand the impact of Biden's inflation more than men by far.
Yep, I couldn't agree with you more.
All right. Well, good to hear from you. Thanks for the call from Palm Beach. All right, take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Cassandra. Doug.
Hey, Doug.
Certainly in my family, I have 3 women, and everyone that...
You have 3 women? What are you, Mormon? You have sister wives? What do you mean you have 3? What's going on?
I have my wife and my 2 girls.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you had like sister wives or something.
No, that would be something. Anyway.
Really? You really want to have 3 wives? Oh my goodness, who could handle that?
No, I couldn't handle one.
No.
Funny. Anyway, they're all conservative thinking, maybe because of me, I don't know, but it seems like all the women who come visit, they all seem, except one, they all seem to be pro-Trump. Only one is a Democrat and won't convert no matter.
Has she had an abortion in her life, you think?
No, I don't think she had, but they just like religion. They just won't, even though they know Biden is no good, they won't vote against him. They just have some of these people are. Let them have what they're going to do.
Is this woman married or divorced?
She's married.
Oh.
With 2 kids.
Oh, her poor husband. Is her husband a Democrat too?
Her husband's a Democrat, yeah.
Oh, what kind of? Let me ask you this question. This is a serious question. What kind of man is a Democrat today? Think about it.
I don't know.
What about being a Democrat is anything other than anti-masculine? You know, in Canada, they're going to give tampons to transgender soldiers now. What are they going to do with the tampon? What about the I'm not kidding. What about Democrats would attract a man? What is manly? What is masculine about being a Democrat?
You're right, 100% right. It's definitely not masculine at all. It's just they're weird. They're just a weird bunch. I don't know what's wrong with them, but and if they were doing anything good, you'd say, all right, you have your party, we have our party, big deal. But the way everything's going is terrible, and they just ignore it and just, I can't vote for Trump.
Well, I'm gonna throw this question out on the air, and I'd love a Democrat. It can be a man or a woman. Answer this question. And I'll do this because I know this is a difficult thing. I won't put you through the questioning, okay? But I want to hear from a Democrat, a man or a woman, to tell me why a man should be a Democrat. What is manly about being a Democrat? What is masculine about being a Democrat? And I'd love to, and I will not give you grief. I won't interrogate you or anything else. I'll give you kind of a free pass on the call. Just to have the guts to try to make that case. I'll give you a free pass on the call, which is difficult for me to do, but I'll do it. What is masculine and manly about being a Democrat? Why would a man vote Democrat? Why should a man vote Democrat? I'd love to hear that.
I'd like to hear it. I'll be listening closely.
There's only one reason I can think of that a man would pretend to be a Democrat, right? To get girls on Tinder. Because I read these stories that on Tinder, all the sleazy girls, they don't like Republican men. So I'm not talking about pretending, okay? I'm not talking about pretending. I'm talking about a man is going to vote Democrat. He's a proud Democrat. What is manly about that? I want to know. Why should a man vote Democrat? I want to get that call so bad. I'm not even going to give you a hard time. I'll give you a total. You can just tell me and hang up.
I hope somebody calls. That's going to be really interesting. I just want to tell you one thing about yourself that you put a feather in your hat you should be proud of. Because of your good idea to have no shipping on Mike Lindell's products, I bought a lot of stuff. My wife bought a lot of stuff. We're going to get stuff away for Christmas. But here's the thing that puts a feather in your cap. When I had a little problem checking it out, so I called in. And he said, what's your code? I said, Kane. Oh, Kane. So I said, no, you're well known there for some reason, unless this person just happen to know you. But they're well known there, and a lot of your listeners must be buying Mike Lindell.
Well, it was last Monday. I called Mike Lindell's office, and I talked to his assistant. And this was kind of a crazy thing that popped in my mind. And I said, hey, for the Christmas promotion, can we add free shipping? You know, and she talked to Mike. She got back to me in less than 60 seconds. Mike said yes, free shipping on all my pillow products, but only until December 15th. You know, for the Christmas sale rush. And I said well, let me clarify. I said, is that on everything, no matter how big, no matter how small, on top of the special discounts? She said yes. And Mike did that for this audience out of appreciation for you, as you could tell by the conversation you had on the phone. So I look what I did. I bought a bed and mattress for my daughter, free shipping to California. Plus, I got a big discount on it.
It's unbelievable. This guy's giving stuff away. You know, of all things, Donald Trump lost a lot of money that he could have made as running for president. Mike Lindell has lost his fortune trying to protect the country. What a guy, man! This guy. I'm hoping that President Trump will give him like the ambassadorship or something.
Oh yeah, what would you make him ambassador to? If Mike Lindell ambassador to something, that would be great.
Yeah, something. You know, even better, the head of commerce. The head of commerce would be great for Mike Lindell, man. That guy knows it.
Secretary of Labor.
Secretary of Labor, Secretary.
You know, I remember these liberals hate Mike Lindell so much. You know, he made thousands upon thousands of masks during COVID out of MyPillow material at great cost, and they wouldn't take them because they were Mike Lindell masks, MyPillow mask. Remember that?
They're sickening. Like I said, you know, I was in New York, and I told you I was going to buy it. I would have bought a pillow, a Mike Lindell pillow, because I was in a hotel that the pillow's like a rock. But you can't buy it anyplace because they took them out of the stores.
That's right. They don't. That's right. They did. But you can buy. Okay. Appreciate the call, Doug. All right. See, Doug knows how to prolong the call. We learn, say good things about our sponsors. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our last break of this hour, and when we get back, there's a lot more to discuss. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hey, football fans, we're flying to the Rose Bowl for the college football playoff game between Michigan and Alabama. Come join us on a private, luxurious 30-passenger jet, flying from the airport in Boca Raton to the airport in Van Nuys, California, near Los Angeles and Pasadena. Millennium Jet Card will fly from Boca Raton, Florida on the morning of December 29th and return to Florida on January 2nd in the afternoon. For a great bowl experience, call 561-660-8540 to book your flight or to get more information. Imagine how easy it will be to drive right up to your plane, park free, and fly non-stop in all first-class seats with drinks along the way. For more info, call 561-660-8540. That's 561-660-8540. Or check them out on the web, mjc30.com. That's mjc30.com. Millennium Jet Card, 561-660-8540.
Hey, it's two men in a truck.
Good morning. I'm man number one.
And I'm man number two. You're right on time.
We're the movers who care. We can handle all your move and packing needs across town or across the country.
Don't forget, we offer climate-controlled storage. I'm so glad you're here. My last movers caused me a lot of grief. Now I can relax.
We move people forward. Find us at twomenpalmbeach.com.
and twomentreasurecoast.com.
Two men and a truck.
Brian Craig here, telling you about our 5th annual listener cruise. And you're all invited, except Liberal Al. Liberal Al, you're not invited. But the rest of you are. We leave April 27th on board the Celebrity Beyond, the flagship of Celebrity Cruises. We're going to the ABC Islands, Curacao, Bonaire, and Aruba. We have shore excursions at every port, and I'll be on them all with you. We'll have dinner together every night, private cocktail parties. We'll go to Broadway shows together and dance till the clubs close every night. Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot and book your reservation at 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779.
We take on the social justice war.
All right. We're back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
PJ from Broward.
Hey, PJ. How you doing? Turn down the volume in the back, please.
Yeah, it's turned down.
Okay.
Hey, I'm already tasting the garlic parmesan cheese wings for this Sunday.
Oh, Wings Plus. That's right. You're going to be there. You know, I know Conservative Doug will be there too. He comes to. I've met him at Wings Plus more than once.
Yeah, I heard Jack Smith might be there.
Jack Smith. Yeah, right.
But he won't be eating. He'll just be sitting. He'll order a plate. You know, if he was there, he probably is so nervous and upset right now, so anxious for this. I mean, can you imagine what the screen is on this guy? He's desperate.
Well, okay. Now, I'm glad you called in about this because I would have forgotten to bring it up. But why is Jack Smith? Why did he go to the Supreme Court to see if this case is good against Trump? Why did he do that?
Because he's desperate. Because he knows that if it goes the regular route through the appeals court, and then even if they say go ahead with it, it's just going to eat up time. And by the time it gets to the Supreme Court, they're going to take their.
But what if the Supreme Court though comes back with a quick ruling in Trump's favor? The case is gone, right?
Yeah, well, that's good. That could happen. By the way, this could happen if it's expedited, but I don't think it will be. By the way, one thing that's really making me laugh, if you look around on the web today, all these liberals, they're celebrating. They're thinking that the Supreme Court agreed to fast track it. No. What they did is they said, "Oh, you want to fast track it? Okay, let's hear your argument." That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's not a fast track, but. I don't know. It's unbelievable how many they're already doing victory laps.
You know, it's hard to. You know, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know anything about the law. Okay, when it comes, especially at that level. I mean, I just know not to break it. You know, like Jack Smith and Merrick Garland are, and Fannie and all of them. But it seems to me that what he took to the court is a former president. Are you able to bring charges against them based on things they did during their presidency? And my guess would be that the Supreme Court would rule in Trump's favor. This idea of prosecuting presidents and presidential candidates is a very dangerous precedent. And the Supreme Court in the 2000 recount case, remember what they made a ruling and then they were very clear. This is just for this case and is not to be used for legal precedents on any other case. I could see them doing something like that with this case, and we've got a Trump court. So, I mean, it seems to me to be a crazy move for Jack Smith to go to the Supreme Court.
Well, it's going to go there anyway. You know what? It might be like, he just wants to just get it over with one way or the other quicker. But I know. But you know what? You know what I'm looking for his opinion, because this just came down yesterday. The top, as far as I'm concerned, the top legal mind, well, besides Dershowitz, I want to hear him too, is Robert Barnes. I always listen to what he says on law. This guy is really...
Is that, I'm not sure who that is.
That's, you know the Viva Barnes, Fry, the guy, he's from Canada. He's actually down here, I think he's right here in Broward County now, from Canada. It's Robert Barnes. This guy is like you got to start checking on this Robert Barnes. I'm sure a lot of your listeners are familiar with him. This guy is like through the roof unbelievable mind. He should be Trump's attorney general as far as
He's from Canada, though. He's a Canadian.
No. Robert Barnes he's from Tennessee. No, he's on a show with Viva Fry. Viva Fry is like the top Canadian guy, but it got so bad up there in Canada as far as freedoms, he moved down here to Florida.
Yeah. Okay. I'll check it out. Yep.
Viva Fry on your show sometime, or just talk to him. He's right here in Florida, South Florida now.
I'll look him up. Viva Fry. That sounds like a restaurant. I don't know. All right. I'll see you at Wings Plus on Sunday. All right, take care. Yeah, I got PJ into the fundraiser with DeSantis when I was there last year. That $500 a seat, and I got him in there for free. So yeah. All right, so I want to share this story with you. I did. There's an update on this Texas abortion case. Remember I was telling you there's this woman who's been denied an abortion because it's past time, and then they found a lower liberal court that said she could have the abortion. And then a higher court said she can't have the abortion, and she traveled out of state. Let me play it. This is from NBC News on that Texas abortion test case.
News this hour. In Texas, the Supreme Court there, they have just overturned a lower court ruling that would have allowed a Dallas woman to get an abortion because of medical concerns. The ruling came down just a few hours after lawyers for 31-year-old Kate Cox announced she was going to leave the state to terminate her non-viable pregnancy. Cox sought an abortion when she learned the fetus she's carrying has a rare disorder and will likely not survive, and carrying it to full term could also prevent her from having another child.
Okay. Now, I just go through this test case. I mean, this is really a sad case. She's pregnant with one child, and she's already planning her another pregnancy after this. And what the reporter said, let me go back to what she said.
Cox sought an abortion when she learned the fetus she's carrying has a rare disorder and will likely not survive.
Likely not survive. That doesn't mean it will not survive. It means the child could very well survive. But, with this modern day Hitler Youth we've been talking about lately, what she's saying is that if the child does survive, it'll have some health concerns, it'll have some disabilities. Is this that's sick. People that have disabilities, that have special needs, that have health concerns, is she saying that they shouldn't live? They used to say that in Nazi Germany.
Carrying it to full term could also prevent her from having another child. Mara, let's start with the legal twists and turns when it comes to this case. What is going on right now with Cox in particular in the state of Texas?
Well, Ellison, there have been changes literally every day when it comes to Cox's pregnancy. You'll remember it was big news when she was granted an exemption on Thursday.
Okay, I'm not going to go through the liberal Emily's List legal analysis of it. Emily's List is a pro-abortion advocacy organization. I don't know who she's with, but she's a abortion activist / attorney. Listen, this woman is trying to become a historical figure. She's trying to be the new Norma McCorvey. Norma McCorvey was the Roe v. Wade lady. She's trying to be the next Rosa Parks. This is a test case. We've seen several of these. The first one was that one with the 10-year-old girl that was impregnated in Ohio beyond the 10-week limit. And they took her out of state. And what we found out is that she was an illegal. The woman who was taking care of her, may have been the mother, may not have been, was also illegal, and the 10-year-old girl was impregnated by the woman she lived with, adult boyfriend, who was about 25 years old. So she was a victim of rape, and they took her to get an abortion, and the doctors put the abortion off to get past the 10 weeks because they were trying to make a test case out of that girl in Ohio. Remember that when Roe v. Wade was first overturned? And this is what Democrats do. This is what they do. They keep doing test cases until one grabs the attention of the nation. The great, legendary, great American Rosa Parks. You think Rosa Parks was the first woman to get arrested for sitting where she wanted on the bus and refusing to give up her seat for a white person? No. The NAACP had activists all over the South doing this. There was two black girls that were in Tallahassee, Florida before Rosa Parks did the same thing, and the bus driver drove to the sheriff's station and they got arrested in Tallahassee here in Florida. They didn't get publicity, and by the time they did it with Rosa Parks, they made sure there was publicity. Okay? They had everything ready to go. And so what we're seeing with this Texas loon and others are wannabe Rosa Parkses. They want to all have places in the history books. I don't believe anything I've heard about the viability of her unborn child. I believe it is all lies. I don't believe it. I would have to see Dr. Ronnie Jackson examine this woman, do test, and then come out and tell us the health condition of her unborn child before I would believe it. Okay? I don't believe anything that's coming out from this woman's doctors because she's going to activist doctors. That's what she's doing. Now, if you or someone you know suffer from neuropathy, oh my goodness, it is living torture, isn't it? And that's why we have Lighthouse Medical Center. Lighthouse Medical Center rid Steve Kane of his neuropathy symptoms and made his life livable. Steve couldn't get out of bed, and that's not an exaggeration, because of his neuropathy. Now he can. And I know many of you in this audience have gone to Lighthouse Medical, and they've done the same for you. Now listen, if you can't make it into their office in person, that's okay. They can help you no matter where you are. Even if you're in town here in South Florida and you can't make it in, they understand at Lighthouse Medical that when you have neuropathy, you're not very mobile. You certainly probably aren't driving, unless it's the very early stages. And even then, I don't know if you should. But no matter where you are in Florida or America, Lighthouse Medical can help you with your neuropathy. You know, those symptoms of neuropathy are awful. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in your hands and feet, dizziness, muscle weakness, muscle twitching, the feeling of pins and needles in your hands and feet, no sensation at all. These are terrible symptoms, and they can help you with them all. I'm going to give you the number. Make sure when you call, you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show, because then you get to avail yourself of a no-charge consultation. If you miss the number, just go to their website, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. lighthousemedicalcenter.com. You can get the number there, but here it is, 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. Give them a call. All right, now, after the top of the hour, I'm going to jump into some other things, and I do have a couple things I do need to recap because they're very important, those new polls in Iowa. I opened the show up at 6 with, but I might do them again after the top of the hour before I get into something new because they are so hot, so good, so important, and everyone needs to know about them. But I do have a lot of new things we're going to jump into as well because so much is happening. And I don't know how much I appreciate this more because doing a show like this during December is historically difficult. That's why most people in broadcasting take their vacations in December because news is typically slow and it is a difficult time historically to do a news-driven program. Not now. Really not since Trump came down the escalator. But this December, the news, it's so much all of the time, you can hardly keep up with it. All right? There's so much happening, and we're overloaded with it, and it's because of Trump, of course. So we're going to be here all month long, guys, and make sure you're with us every morning because so much is happening. And tell all your friends about the program. Also, if you ever miss a show or a part of a show, you can go to our radio station website, trueoldiesfla.com, and every day about an hour after we get off the air, Mike, our board op, uploads the entire Steve Kane Show to trueoldiesfla.com. They're archived up there forever. Also, if you've called in and you want to save your call, you can download it right off the website, trueoldiesfla.com. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll take our top of the hour break and be right back.
WWNN Pompano Beach. WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Rome Studio. Injured recently, call the Rome's Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700.
Okay.
561-570-5700. Rome's winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where
Yeah, those mics are in such an awkward position to like hear, you know? It looks cool. But yeah. I like it when they're like across from them. You know?
It's easier.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I've shown this to you guys before, but some of you may not have seen this. I have the best apple face of anyone. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? And if you look, Trump, he's pointing at the time. Isn't that cool? Doesn't get better than that. Absolutely. Oh, I'm not sure where to go after the top. We've got so much to do here. No, we're not going to be back for 2 minutes. I'll be right back. No, I'm not going to go. I'm going to go do something, but I'm changed my mind. No, Steve and everybody in his house have strep throat. Steve can hardly talk. All right, welcome back. Third hour's begun. I got so much to cover, but before I get back to the issues, we really should be doing spots for the Brightline. I took the Brightline, our high-speed train here in South Florida. I've taken that train many times. I took it to Orlando a few weeks back. My wife, we had to go to Aventura yesterday. We live in Boca, and my wife had a doctor's appointment, and her doctor is right next to the Aventura Mall, which is like the nicest mall in all of South Florida, I think. But anyway, from Boca to Aventura, that is, let me tell you, that can be 2 hours, 90 minutes. The traffic, when you get off 95 to head east to Biscayne, it can take you an hour to get from 95 to Biscayne sometimes. The traffic is so bad. Then you got to go through it on the way back. So I said, let's take the Brightline. And we took the Brightline from Boca to Aventura. And the Aventura station is right across the street from the Aventura Mall. From Boca to Aventura, 29 minutes. I couldn't believe it. 29 minutes. And it stopped in Fort Lauderdale. It's still 29 minutes. And I have an app that shows you, it's a speedometer app. It got up to 80 miles an hour on average, but we got up to 90 miles an hour, which I was very surprised on that train track. 29 minutes from Boca to Aventura. I couldn't believe it. It was an amazing quick ride, and I'm so glad, especially on the way home. They serve booze on that, by the way. Not that I had any, but they do. All right, before we go back to the phones, though, Mike Johnson is facing what I would consider to be his first test as Speaker. Okay? The FISA court is up for reauthorization. It says here, Speaker Mike Johnson, this is in the Daily Mail. This has been reported in many spaces. Speaker Mike Johnson has a critical test ahead of him as he navigates competing Republican priorities to reauthorize an important FBI spy tool. Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, that's FISA, specifically allows intelligence agencies to engage in warrantless surveillance. Now, okay, that's what they used against Trump to get the fake warrant on Trump Tower, right? Remember that during the first campaign? The FISA system was set up because after 9/11, terrorists and suspected terrorists were using payphones all over the place. There was one in particular, Al-Qaeda was using a payphone at a pizzeria, and the feds couldn't listen in. Remember this? I can't remember where it was, but I remember the pizza place. And they couldn't get blanket warrants on payphones. That's why if you go and watch Goodfellas, okay, and Goodfellas, Paulie, in Goodfellas, the big mob boss, they did all their stuff through payphones because the FBI couldn't get blanket payphone warrants. And that made sense when America was under attack on 9/11, but it's not being used for terrorists any longer. It's being used against presidential candidates, presidents, and American citizens. In particular, the FISA warrant was used against President Trump to get a warrant on Trump Tower. They found a way to do it through some Russian banker or something. Remember all that crap that they did? Peter Strzok got that FISA warrant on Trump, and then they started listening on his campaign headquarters and his home because he was living at Trump Tower at the time with Melania and Little Baron at the time, who's now huge. That's got to go. That has got to go, except in wartime perhaps. But it's got to go. And if they reauthorize it, it needs to be reauthorized to not be used against American citizens or something. That should go. So this is going to be a big test of MAGA Mike Johnson if he's going to allow this spy tool that's being used against American citizens and President Trump since he came down the escalator, the FISA, if he's going to allow that to stand. I don't think it should be reauthorized. That thing needs to go. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, this is Rick from Miami. How you doing, brother?
Hey, Rick, what's up?
Nothing much. Love Trump, love everything you do. Thank you so much for everything you do, man. You see who's running for president now? The guy from the Young Turks, Cenk Uygur. What a sir. He's the first naturalized guy American to run for president. What a joke.
Well, he can't be president. You have to be. You can't be an immigrant, and he's from Turkey, right? So you've got to be born an American to run for president. Okay, and so
he's going against the grain, bro.
and you know, I saw an interview with him talking about this, and he wants Arnold Schwarzenegger to be able to run for president. And I'm not sure if this Shoot Younger, whatever his name is, I don't know, has Chint Younger, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. I don't know if he knows this, but Arnold Schwarzenegger is the son of a Nazi. His dad was a Nazi. So you got this liberal young Turk advocating for a son of a Nazi to run for president and think he's a good kid.
Who's their father?
Exactly.
Exactly. Brian, God, I forgot what I was going to say to you. But anyways, man, thank you for taking my call. You're great. Thank you for...
I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Yeah. All right, now, I don't have time to do this before the break, so I'm going to do this after our next break. There's one thing unrelated. There was a police-involved incident with a white officer and an African-American man, and I'm going to share this with you when we get back, and it's an important story, and I'm going to share this. It's not about the normal politics and such, but I want to get to this. And caution, disturbing audio will be played when we get to this. But it's something that needs to be played for some very, very important reasons, okay? I'm going to do that before we get back to the political issues. Although police-involved incidents quite often are political issues. They shouldn't be, but they are. So I'm going to just share this story with you when we get back, and then we'll get back into the politics. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. My name's Brian Craig. We'll take a quick break and be back.
On the sidelines, get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show.
All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How are you?
I'm great. What's new this week with the Siegel Law Group?
Well, what I was going to speak about today was how important it is to make sure that you have an estate plan that not only designates who you want to leave your assets to, but also so that it's designed to make sure that the wrong people don't receive your assets. And I'm talking about that from several points of view. One certainly is if there's somebody that you specifically would not want, whether it be, a sibling or a child or someone else that could possibly get it, there are ways to disinherit specific people. Also, even if you do leave it to the people that you intend to leave the assets to, if you name them by name, but you don't leave it to them in a protected way, those assets could travel outside the bloodline for various reasons, due to divorces, lawsuits, creditors, and a host of other reasons where the assets could go to unintended heirs. And then the other thing is you could end up leaving assets to people where it just creates a bad situation. For example, you don't want to leave assets to a beneficiary who's too young. Certainly, if they're under 18, they are too young and they can't control it. But what if they're over 18, or if they're 18, 19, 20, or some age that they're just not there yet? They're not responsible enough to control the assets and handle them properly. That could be a problem. What if they have a special needs issue? That would be a problem because they could lose government benefits. If they have drug, alcohol, gambling issues, anything like that. There are a host of reasons why you want to make sure that you leave the assets in the proper way. Otherwise, you're just gambling with your hard-earned assets that you've worked for your whole life, you've saved for your whole life. You want to make sure you have an estate plan that works.
These tragic stories that you're hearing from Attorney Barry Siegel are very common. One of them happened to Steve Kane. Steve Kane, his dad was a wealthy man, lived into his 90s, and married more than once. And, a lot of people don't know. I don't even know if you know this, Barry. Steve's dad was married to Betty Boop, the actress that was the original Betty Boop. Not a lot of people know that about Steve, but Steve's dad was a wealthy man who was married to a much younger woman. And Steve's dad did not have the bloodline planning set up that you're talking about. He passed away. His younger wife inherited everything. She died 6 months later, even though she was much younger, and her family got all of Steve's everything. You know, all the stuff from the house, private family things, even the photographs that they probably threw away, and of course, the money. And Steve and his sister got zip. Can you believe? Isn't that crazy? Because his dad didn't have things set up. So his younger wife's family got all of his wealth. Don't let that happen to you. I know, Steve would have been retired probably 20 years ago if that didn't happen. All right, but give the Siegel Law Group a call. Mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio, and you get to take advantage of the no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group. The number, 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we'll talk later in the week.
All right, thank you, Brian.
Mm-hmm. All right, back after this.
Yo, with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True Oldies FLA.
All right, calls on hold, stand by. Yeah, you know, that thing with Steve's dad being married to Betty Boop, if you look up Betty Boop on Wikipedia, Steve's dad is in Betty Boop's Wikipedia. Helen Kane is the actress that Betty Boop was based off of. She kept the name, but not the husband. And Steve's dad is in Betty Boop's Wikipedia entry over that. I know it's a crazy thing, isn't it? I know. I think about that every time I see like a Betty Boop something on some lady's car or something. I don't know. All right, but Betty Boop is not Steve's mother, but his dad was married to her. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jersey Mike from West Palm Beach.
Hey, Mike, what's up?
Listen, you know, I keep on saying this, but it's true. You're spot right on the money all the time. I can't wait to meet you at the restaurant and shake your hand. I think you're brilliant.
Oh, great. Appreciate that.
You know, as far as Longfellow is concerned, I have the shirts that they wear in that show. And it used to be a place in Newark, New Jersey called Lincoln Road that sold 3 different editions. One was gray and black, one was red, maroon and red.
Who was Betty Boop?
And the maroon and black, and the other one was like a tan and black. And I think he wears the gray and white one, the one with the stripes.
Yeah.
All the Italian knit. Really, really fine stuff. And I still have them today.
Wow, that's great.
58 years old.
Yeah, that's cool. That's great. Awesome.
It's one of the greatest movies that they ever put together.
Goodfellas?
Great movie, but yeah, I think that was really right on the money. Yeah.
You know, we had Ray Liotta in studio on the show once, only because of that movie. He was in town. He was in town for a film festival, and I love that movie so much. We had Ray Liotta in studio, who was like a baby doll. I mean, he was like he was nothing like his characters. I mean, I was surprised. I was, you know, he's no longer with us, Ray Liotta.
Yeah, he actually died young. I think he died in maybe his 60s or something like that.
But that is definitely a great movie. Paul Sorvino played Paulie in that. Yeah. Yeah.
The Sopranos. One thing about The Sopranos, remember the Don in Sopranos? His house was shot. The film was shot in Caldwell, and it was a corner house. I used to go by it every Sunday, going over to my wife's parents' house. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. Don't take offense, you know. But you know, in Florida, everyone retires here, so you never know who you're going to meet. You're not like a made guy. You're not like a mobster guy, are you, or something?
No. I'm a chemical engineer. I went to Newark College of Engineering. I was practicing.
Oh, okay. Because we used to, you know who used to listen to us. You know who used to listen to this. We did not talk about this at the time because I didn't think it was a good idea. But one of our listeners was the mobster. I can't remember his name. Son of a gun. I met him at one of our things. The guy that no, not John Gotti. God no. Oh my goodness, no. The guy that Robert De Niro played in Casino, the Jewish gangster.
Yes.
I cannot remember his name, but he came to one of our appearances. It might have been at Wings Plus. I can't remember which one it was at, but yeah, I was in shock. And he you know how he proved who he was to us?
How?
He had the book, and his picture was on the book. It was on the book cover. I cannot read. Does anybody remember the guy's name? But he was the real guy that De Niro played in Casino. He's one of our listeners. He lived in Boca.
I have a family member who's associated with the mafia.
Oh, okay. No, let's not talk about it.
I know what's going on there. You got to be very, very discreet about that whole matter. He has a big multi-million-dollar home in Miami. He's got one in.
Yeah, Rothstein. Yeah. By the way, hey, I appreciate the call. I'll see you at Wings Plus on Sunday. All right, take care. Yeah, Rothstein, but I can't remember his first. Anybody remember the real guy that De Niro played in Casino? You think I'd remember that? He was one of our listeners. He's no longer with us. Well, when you're the longest running radio show, you outlive your listeners. You have to get new listeners. But Sam Ron, I don't remember his name, but I know Rothstein. That's definitely his name. All right. Well, let me get to this though, because some of these stories. Well, I don't have time for that one. Maybe we'll get to it later. The police involved story, because I want to play the audio. And I'm looking at the clock, and I don't have time to go through the story and play the audio. And without the audio, it's not going to make a lot of sense to you. But I'll try to get to it before the end of the show. If I don't today, I'll get to it tomorrow. Because, it's one thing to stand up for police when they're being railroaded. But not everything the police do is right. Okay? And when the police do something that's not right, it's important for us to point that out, so that we have credibility when we're defending police officers that are being railroaded. But I'll tell you this, I don't know who they're recruiting to be police officers today, because with everything recorded, not just the police officers' body cameras and dashboard cameras, but everyone is recording on their phone all the time, it's got to be scary to be a police officer. I mean, how do you arrest anyone? How do you do anything? Because everything you do, and the problem with the recordings is people don't start recording until after there's an incident. So you don't get to see what built up to it. But with this new thing with this police officer, it's a little more detailed, but I will get to it later, if not today, tomorrow, because I'm looking at the clock and time's ticking. But I do want to recap what I started with at 6, because this is very important. The Iowa polls are out, and the Des Moines Register, which is described in this article as the gold standard of polls, has Trump at over 50%. And let me go through this story. This is from Breitbart. President Trump is now over the 50% mark in Iowa per the latest Des Moines Register NBC MediaCon Iowa poll. Okay? Since an October poll, Trump has jumped 8 full points in Iowa from 43 to 51. Nikki Haley is at 16 and is in third place in Iowa. Now, this poll they call it the gold standard of Iowa polls. It has properly predicted every Iowa caucus victory since they've been doing this in the media. Okay, so this poll has never been wrong. And proof of that, President Trump lost Iowa to Ted Cruz in 2016, and this poll predicted that. It has a 4.4% margin of error, but President Trump is way ahead of anyone else, okay? But a significant thing about Nikki Haley is there's been a major push by the media for the last 4 to 6 weeks for Nikki Haley. She has not gained a single point in Iowa with all of that. Also, let me see here. Where is DeSantis? See here. Nikki Haley's at 16, and DeSantis is, it doesn't give me DeSantis is in this article, but President Trump is over 30 points ahead of DeSantis in Iowa. So Iowa is done, and there's some new polling also out of New Hampshire that has Trump not only in the lead in New Hampshire, which is the second spot, but gaining in the New Hampshire poll. So these things are very significant. Everything's going in our favor, but we've got to be careful to not get too confident, because overconfidence convinces people that their votes aren't needed, and they get very busy and don't go out and vote on the election days, on the primary days, the caucus days, whatever else. So we don't want to get too overexcited, because we need everyone out there. But the latest poll in Iowa has Trump at over 50% for the first time, and that's just a mass. Part of the significance is because a lot of people have dropped out of the race, and DeSantis and Nikki Haley aren't gaining those people. Most of those people are going to Trump. So their dream was as people dropped out, these grifters and wannabes that are running against him in the primaries would gain, and that's just not happening. In fact, it's had an opposite effect. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. My name is Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Back after this.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning.
We have our guest for today.
All right. Hey, how's it going?
What's up, man?
Good. You got something for me there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I had a couple things I was going to bring up to you.
Well, we can talk about anything.
Let me ask you, do you just do annuities? Or
That's it.
That's it, okay.
I mean, we do annuities and life insurance, all the insurance products, but
But yeah, okay.
the annuities is what we specialize in. It's funny, I came down here 22 years ago, and my friends up in the Northeast said, you'll never make a living doing annuities. And I said, hey, I'm just going to specialize in that.
Yeah. No, reason I asked, because like last time, because I don't know, I used to own stocks and just, it's gambling.
We own one.
Yeah.
I own Google. That's the only stock I have, only because I think it's going to take off.
Yeah, one day, that's like GM in the 40s, you know,
Exactly.
but that's, no.
By
Yeah.
the way, I was just listening to the attorney Siegel, Barry Siegel. Is that his
Yep.
name? Guy's right on. And we do the same thing with the annuities. When you have a named beneficiary, the money goes to who you want. And don't leave it to young kids. I just had this conversation yesterday with
You should connect with him. He does, he's got a beautiful office in Boca,
Really?
and he does workshops all the time, and we invite people there.
Oh.
You know? Maybe I'll talk to Steve. Maybe we can reach out to him and set something up, like a cross promotion or
Love
something.
to, man.
Yeah.
Sure. Because we get calls, look, for some reason, Coral Springs, you guys are like really, I get calls from Coral Springs constantly.
Really?
Yeah.
Hot in Coral
I
Springs.
swear to God, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's a little far, but I got a couple, one guy came up from Plantation, so it's working, man.
That's awesome. Well, that's good to hear.
It's not like they're coming in droves, but they're hey, one at a time is all I need. You know?
Yeah.
That's good. Well, I mean, we can just talk about whatever.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be that.
No. I had a couple things that relate to this I was going to bring up to
I
you.
mean, all this guaranteed income stuff is, you have a 401k, how do you get income from it? Nobody knows. That's the key. You get a 401k,
Yeah.
this is the new pension.
Yeah.
So we can guarantee you an income. It's that simple.
Mhm.
People complicate this shit.
Yeah.
Anxiety and depression making your daily life feel far more difficult than it should. And do you feel like you're aging far beyond what you should? Is your sexual life and relationship suffering because of disappointments in the bedroom? Then take action and let our medical team at Lighthouse Medical Center help you stop the symptoms that are holding you back. We use all natural hormone optimization therapies with precision technology to help solve your problematic symptoms. Our family-owned practice has had the honor of serving our South Florida community for over 71 years. Call us right now and let our medical team get you optimized and feeling the way that you should. Life is too short to be running at less than 100%. You and your family deserve the best version of you. Call us at 754-222-6642 or visit us at lighthousemedicalcenter.com to schedule your consultation today.
Hi, this is Vicki Lawrence. A fast-talking Hollywood agent has persuaded me to co-star in a two-woman show with that crazy old woman from Mama's Family. And who makes it a two-woman show? None other than that poster girl Virginia Clyde on Mama's Family, Michelle Harper. In the flesh, unplugged, on the air. That's a scary thought. That's her Vicki Lawrence and Mama, a two-woman show. Vicki Lawrence and Mama, January 10th. Get tickets now at HarperPlayhouse.com and Ticketmaster.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Jersey Mike.
What's the smallest annuity again?
10,000.
10,000, and then the largest is 250.
As much as they want.
Oh, really?
Yeah. $1 million, we got to get approval over
$1 million.
By the way, this guy called in. He went to see me, this Jersey Mike guy.
Oh yeah, he's a character. He turned him into a commercial.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much.
He's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate that.
We're the only show where the listeners do commercials. You know.
I've heard that before.
It's
He's a
true.
cool guy and,
Yeah.
yeah. It's all good. No man, I love what we're doing here. It's good.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, our thing we're doing on Sundays in Coral Springs.
Oh, Sundays?
This Sunday we're going to our wing restaurant, Wings Plus, in Coral Springs too. So, yeah. So.
I didn't even. So you do stuff outside besides this?
Well, we're doing an appearance. Steve and I are going to do an appearance on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't do them that often, once every year or two, plus the cruise.
Well, I'm so glad that Vic brought me to you because he's like, I think the gold mine or something was going to use. Like, oh, he's too political. I'm like, listen, business is business, man.
That's right.
I'm not concerned about that.
Well, we've got our gold guy we've been with for many, many years.
Oh, I have.
William Youngerman. Yeah. He's been with us for 20 years or so.
I've never got involved with it. It's a tough business. And
Well, when he joined us, gold was $4.25 an ounce.
oh my God, now it's 2,000 an ounce, right?
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I know. And he's good. He'll tell you it's too high now. Don't buy.
Yeah.
Or not. He.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that guy Mike, Jersey Mike, he's got silver. And I was telling myself, look, I don't deal with it. I said,
Yeah.
I'll get you somebody. I said, so that's good to know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's good. Yeah.
That's the problem. People have stuff and they don't know how to get rid of it, and then they leave it to their kids. You know what kids do?
Sell it.
They don't give you money. Just
Yeah.
like they're the Betty Boop thing.
Well, it's all profit.
Yeah. Steve Kane, listen, disinheriting the family happens every day.
Oh, his dad died. He was almost 100, and his wife was like 45, and then she died 6 months after him. I don't know what from, and then her family got everything.
It happens all the time.
Oh.
Yeah. The worst is that
I see it. Yeah.
kids with drugs too. Like I had a mom who wanted her daughter to make sure she had money. I said, set up a trust.
Yeah.
Set up a trust and have her take a hair follicle test every year.
Oh my gosh.
And she did that, and the kid got straight.
You know what? Some people do that too, from our guy, but also there's some people that make $200,000 a year that are paycheck to paycheck, and they get the windfall. It's gone in a month. The new car, the new kitchen, it's gone. Yeah, exactly.
No, same thing. Most lottery people,
That's it.
they win the lottery and they go bankrupt in 3 years.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. We got Joe Thomas in studio.
That's right.
Jupiter Joe Thomas. I was thinking about you. You specialize in annuities, and you're a retirement expert. And I've talked to a lot of people lately, some in my family that are retired, they're not typically hurting, but they're complaining because two things have happened, other than inflation. Here in Florida, where most people come to retire, property insurances have gone up so much. And I've talked to people that are well-to-do, and they're like, I don't know how I'm going to afford it. My homeowner's insurance is $10,000 a year now, or $6,000, $8,000 a year. And that's one thing that people are dealing with. It's pretty brutal that they think, okay, I'm pretty well-to-do, I'm retired and now this happens.
In my book, I talk about how we're in a debt-driven society, and you never get out of debt. You still have taxes, you still have insurance, you still have costs. Even if you have millions of dollars in the bank, you still have fees and charges all the time and costs.
Yeah, these are things you can't plan for. These are things you need extra income. Another thing that I hear from this happened to somebody in my family. Their condo, they got a condo that's paid for, right? So, that's great. I'm retired. My home's paid for. The HOA is whatever it is. I'm set. That condo collapse in Miami. Now the condos are all getting these assessments. They have to do upgrades, they have to do changes, and they have to come up with an ungodly amount of money.
Oh, I hear 18, 20,000 every day from clients. They're talking about it. It's ridiculous.
The same thing with you here. Yeah.
And by the way, Brian, a lot of people are paying off their mortgages from their 401ks just so they don't have to pay the homeowner's insurance because it's shot up 300%, 400% in Florida. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I know everybody thinks that Florida is just the land of Oz and gumball dream, whatever that saying is. But people that are retired here are struggling because these expenses that we're talking about now, on top of the inflation on everything, are things that you can't plan for. And with annuities, see, I like, this is what I love about what you do, Joe Thomas, and annuities. I'm not a gambler. I don't gamble. We go on our cruises. I don't even go in the casino. And to me, the stock market's I know a lot of people don't disagree. Any financial planners come on after it's gambling, and I can't live that way. With annuities, and I learned this through you, and this is absolutely amazing. You're not gambling. You're not risking your money.
Exactly. No, it's a safe bet. This is the safe bet. This is the way the house plays. Insurance companies don't go out of business. Unless they're property and casualty companies, but the financial organizations, the Johnny Hancocks, the Prudentials, they're still here. They've been here for 100 years. They have great ratings. because they know how to make money and they know how to keep your money safe. It's a big deal.
Well, listen, nobody wants to lose money, but when you're retired, you're in a different situation. You're not in the workforce. So if you're younger and you lose money, you may not like it, but hey, I'm still working, I'll make it back. When you're retired, I don't care how well-to-do you are or not, you're not bringing in the revenue you used to. You can't afford to lose money.
Well, and the mindset's got to be this. Whatever your age is, that's the level of safety you should have, unless you have a ton of money, right? So if you're 65% of your money should be safe, secure, and I say guaranteed. And how do you guarantee money? There's only three ways: through Social Security, a pension, or an annuity. And we only sell annuities that are guaranteed. We don't deal with variable annuities. We only deal with fixed and fixed index. They protect your money.
Well, what does that mean? When you say you only deal with annuities that are guaranteed, guaranteed what?
So guaranteed means that they're backed by the claims paying ability of the insurance carriers. That means they have the assets to back the money up. So if you buy a stock or a bond, it can go up and down. With an annuity, the ones that we offer, they're only going up in value. The only way you can lose money is if you surrender the contract early. If it's a 3-year contract, don't cash it in for 3 years, you're never going to lose money, or 5 years, or so on and so on.
Yeah.
And we explain that to you in detail. It's hard to get it all out in 10 minutes, right? So when I tell clients to call, we talk about these things and explain how they work.
Yeah, and these extra expenses, which are pretty heavy on retirees, we're talking about the homeowners insurance, the assessments because the condos have to be rebuilt and everything else because that sad collapse in Miami. With the annuities, there's income as well. Tell me about that a little bit.
So you put in a lump sum of money. Let's just use $100,000. You put in $100,000. We can guarantee you're going to get $10,000 a year for the rest of your life. And the guarantees come in that we protect the money and we guarantee that you cannot outlive the money. Something you can't do with a 401k or a CD at a bank.
Yeah.
These are guaranteed income products. They guarantee your income. And I use the word guarantee. I can't use that loosely.
You know what? I'll tell you what I know it's not this, and I probably shouldn't use this word, but I'm not the financial expert, so I can use any words I want, right? I don't know. But what you're a lot of people out there don't have pensions. They have Social Security, whatever they've set aside. But in effect, if you've got income coming in, an annuity is like a pension.
It is. Well, actually, a pension is an annuity. A lot of people don't
Get out of town, really.
Yeah, people don't know that. But a pension is actually, when you win the lottery in South Florida or Florida in general, they pay you out in annuity installments. So people just don't get it. And when you win a lawsuit, if you sue somebody, get hit in a car, and you get $1 million lawsuit, most times they're paying you out in an annuity payment, an installment situation. That's what we do. Now,
I've heard from some of our listeners who have talked to you because you're offering free phone consultations. By the way, no matter where you're located, you can call Joe Thomas. I'm going to give you his number in a minute. If you miss the number, just go to his website, jupiterjoe.com, jupiterjoe.com, and his number's there. You're offering free phone consultations. But one of our callers called in, who's in one of our recorded commercials, but I've heard from others with similar things. But Mike, he said he was blown away. He said not only did you give him great advice, things he never thought about, but you sat down with him for 1 hour and 20 minutes and went over his situation. And what you were talking about was very unique and specific to him.
Yeah, and it's funny. We actually didn't even sell him anything or do any business with him. We're here to help people. Look, I've been doing this for 30 plus years. If I can give back to the community, it's really good for us and it's good for business. And I help the guy out. I mean, he's also a vet. And my dad was a vet, and I got to tell you, I respect that. So that's why we helped him out tremendously. And he had lost a check. One of the insurance companies lost a check, and we had to get it back from him. You know what? I made one phone call, and we got him the check. Within 7 days, he's going to get his check.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's great. Well, thanks for taking such great care of our listeners. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
And you do a great job, Brian. I really do enjoy your show. In the beginning, I was like, oh, who is this guy? And the more I listened, the more it made sense, and I love what you do. I really do.
Well, I met my wife was a listener for a long time, and she hated me. And then she came to an appearance and met me, and then we got married 6 weeks later, and we've been married 27 years this month. So
you do a great job, and I really want to thank you for that.
No, I appreciate it. No, it's important because, listen, when you're retired, I don't know anyone who's retired that can't use a little extra income. I don't care what your income level is. And, you may have different lifestyles. You might like to, here we are Christmas time. You might want to go travel to see the grandkids or bring them to Disney World or bring them here to South. That extra income will come in handy. Even if you're just playing golf, golf is very expensive, and, or, maybe you need to buy a new. I don't know a single retired person at any income level who could not use extra income because no matter what they've planned on their own, there's always things that come up like we were talking about, and of course, skyrocketing inflation.
Oh, yeah. No, it's out of control. And people are having a harder time living, especially people that are on a fixed budget. If you only have so much money And how do you get more money? Well, the only thing you do is generate more interest. Now, how do you do that in a safe way? You can't do it in the stock market because you may lose the money you put at risk. With this, you know it's a guaranteed income stream.
Yeah, now one last thing I want to talk about before we go. You brought this up last time, and this is very, very important. A lot of people have 401ks with a former employer. And by the way, that guy may have been the guy that fired you. Your former employer, regardless of how your relationship ended, is making money off your 401k?
Yeah, it's called revenue sharing, and a lot of people don't know about that. So even though you have a Fidelity account or an Empower account, your ex-company boss is making a share of the revenue that's generated. They charge you about 1 to 2% a year, and he's getting half of it.
Wow, that's crazy. So if I've got a 401k or money invested with someone, and I don't want to deal, I don't want to call my old boss, I don't want to call my financial advisor and fire. Can you help with that? Get that money from my old 401k, my old financial advisor, and get it to an annuity?
Sure, we do all the transfer paperwork. You don't have to worry about that, and there's no tax. A lot of people worry, well, I'm going to pay 20% tax withholding. No, we do an asset-to-asset transfer, so there's no tax.
Oh, that's the best. That's the best. That's the best. And I'll tell you, I mentioned this to you before. There are people that will lose money for decades because they don't want to have a conversation with their financial planner that's losing them money every day.
Don't be married to your financial guy. This is about your money. This is about your life. You got to take advantage of it. You got to take control of your money. I always talk about control. Leaving your money at your old job is not a good thing, Brian.
Absolutely, absolutely. Or leaving your money with a financial planner where you're losing money.
Exactly. I had a client last night, they've lost $69,000. And she's kind of saying, should I move my money? Like,
should I?
You tell me. She had $1 million, and she's like, should I move $69,000? Yeah, I lost $69,000. I'm like, hey, it's a lot of money. I don't know what level you're at. Losing money is not a good thing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right, listen, Joe Thomas, he's offering two things at no charge. One, a copy of his book, The Retirement Know-It-All, which when you call, you can ask for that book or go to his website, JupiterJoe.com. But he's also offering free phone consultations. No matter where you're located, give Joe a call. He's offering free phone consultations. I'm going to give you the number, but again, if you miss the number, just go to his website, JupiterJoe.com. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And again, if you missed that, just go to JupiterJoe.com. All right, Joe Thomas, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you.
Brian, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
All right, take care. We'll be right back.
That was really good.
Still on.
Okay.
Still on. Appreciate it. One sec. All right, and it's time to check in with, thanks, Joe, time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals looking?
Metals are looking good today. We saw a nice dip yesterday, giving us great buying opportunities, and a lot of Steve Kane listeners took advantage of that nice dip, down $23.10, closing out the day at $1,981.40. Silver lost 16 cents yesterday, closing at $22.81 the ounce, while platinum was down $6 at $911. And palladium was up $16 at $946. Yesterday we saw the range in gold from $1,975 on the low to $2,008 on the top. This morning, gold currently at $1,986.40. Trading in a range from $1,981 all the way up to $1,997. Gold ran up a good $5 on the CPI index, which came out up 0.1%, which was more than expected. That ran gold up to $1,997, and now it's back down to $1,986.40. That's up $5. Silver up 19 cents at $23 the ounce. Platinum up $10 at $921. And palladium up $14 at $960 the ounce. So the markets may be stabilizing at these new low levels, giving us a buying opportunity, and certainly worth looking at if you're ready to add to your positions, or if you haven't bought any gold and silver, great time to get it.
Absolutely. You know, I was just having a conversation off the air a little while ago, William, with someone, and they have an acquaintance who has silver. And they're new to the area, and they're not sure. They want to turn the silver into cash, and they're not sure really how that process works. And of course, you don't just sell the metals; you buy them. But can you tell people how that works? What's the process when people come in with the metals and they're looking to turn them into cash?
Yep, it's as easy as that. You just walk in with the metals, and you walk out with the cash. We pay immediately on the spot basis the current market.
Yeah.
We're we're always looking to buy.
Yeah, and I see that all the time when I'm over at William Youngerman's. People come in, they get appraisals, and I see you buy as well as sell, and it's very common, very easy process. And so if you have anything made of the metals, but it can also be bullion, bars, all that stuff, William Youngerman can help you with that as well. He's located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. You can find him online at williamyoungerman.com or give him a call toll free, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, take care. Indeed it is. We are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Okay. The political establishment's biggest enemy, of course, is Trump. They hate Trump. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Trump and MAGA. They hate us. Their number two villain is Moms for Liberty. Moms for Liberty. And Moms for Liberty is a very effective, conservative, very MAGA group. Here in Florida, they've done great work around the country, but here in Florida, Moms for Liberty have flipped entire school boards from Democrat to Republican. And they've been very active. And if you ever listen to MSNBC or The View, when the Moms of Liberty come on, or get the name, they don't have them on as guests, they couldn't confront them. But when Moms of Liberty is mentioned by any of the mainstream media, The View, or any of these people, they get into a rage. They hate them. See, it's okay to be an activist woman or mom if you're a liberal, like the Million Mom March and all of that, all these fake organizations. But if you're a conservative woman or a conservative mom, you're evil. Well, a week or two ago, a story came out about a Florida Republican leader. They got him up on a rape accusation, and he is the wife. His wife is the founder of Moms for Liberty, and I don't buy this story. All of a sudden, they got this guy up on a rape accusation. A woman has claimed that she's involved in a three-way sexual relationship with the husband and wife, the Republican and the Moms for Liberty founder. And I'm not saying that that's a three-way open. I don't know if it's an open marriage if they're doing a three-way thing. It may not be that open. I don't know, but obviously that's not a traditional conservative marriage. But it's certainly. When that story broke, I told you I don't buy this story. He's MAGA. He's the Republican chair in Florida, and his wife founded Moms for Liberty, and now this story is coming. I said, this is about taking down Moms for Liberty. There's something stinks about this story. It's just a coincidence that the husband of the founder of Moms for Liberty has this rape accusation made against him by a woman. It seemed a little too convenient. All right, well, we've got some updates here. A Florida school board is about to demand that the co-founder of Moms for Liberty, whose GOP chairman husband has been accused of rape, be ousted. The Sarasota County School Board cannot directly remove Bridget Ziegler from the panel, but it is discussing a resolution requesting that she step down from the school board. She's on their school board. So let me get this straight. Even if this story is true, by the way, which I don't believe this guy raped a woman, okay? But if he did, are you telling me that a woman is to be held accountable for her husband's sex crimes? I don't understand this. Ann Rule. You guys know who Ann Rule is, the true crime writer? She was best friends with Ted Bundy. She wrote the book, Stranger Beside Me or something, the Bundy book. Bundy used to hang out at her house with her kid. She's made a whole career out of this. So BTK. You think that BTK's wife is responsible for what he did? I'm not saying that this guy did anything. Something stinks about this story. And now we're getting into it. The Sarasota County School Board Chairman Karen Rose said she's shocked and deeply saddened by the rape allegation involving Ziegler's husband, Christian Ziegler, and the couple's admission about having a three-way sexual encounter. Now, three-way sexual encounters between consenting married adults, well, it may not be biblical, it may not be the way that my marriage operates, okay, is that a disqualifier for her standing up against the trans mafia and the schools? I don't know. Is it? If this is something that's... And I thought liberals said that stay out of our bedroom. What I do in my bedroom with consenting adults is okay. And these liberals are the ones that are calling for her to be out. She is to be out because she has admitted to having a consensual three-way sexual relationship with her husband and another woman? Why are these people judging her based on her sex life when they're pushing this trans agenda? Let's see here. This is the chairman of the board who wants her out. I personally care about Bridget and her family and deeply regret the necessity for this course of action. But given the intense media scrutiny locally and nationally, her continued presence would cause harmful distractions of our critical mission. Yeah, the trans agenda, right? Bridget Ziegler did not respond to comment on this. She's served on this school board since 2014. She was appointed by Governor Rick Scott, who was the governor before DeSantis and is now one of our senators. The Sarasota Police Department is investigating a woman's accusation that her husband raped her at her apartment in October. Police documents say the Zieglers and the woman had planned a sexual threesome that day, but Bridget was unable to make it. The accuser says the husband arrived and assaulted her, according to the documents. He's not been charged with any crime and maintains his innocence, contending the encounter was consensual. So he's saying that he had sex with her consensually. Okay, now it seems to me, if this story is true, that the Moms for Liberty founder is the victim here. Her husband, at the very least, was having an extramarital affair without her being there, unless she consented to him doing this. At every point in this, she's a victim. Because they're not... And why, if it's been a week, the police have been all over this national story. If he's not been arrested or charged, and it's just an accusation, what, are we supposed to convict an entire family based on an accusation without an arrest, trial, or conviction? I don't think so. If all this is true, the woman who founded Moms for Liberty is a victim. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Steve, Florida. I don't understand. Well, first of all, the answer to your question much earlier was Bugsy Siegel, I believe.
No, it was not Bugsy Siegel.
Okay. Anyway, they're getting all these people out. Why the hell don't they get Talib out of there? How do they have the power to remove Santos and all these? But Talib is still there, right? Nobody can get rid. They can't Talib.
Well, well, because Democrats have immunity and can do whatever it is they want to do.
Well, that's why we need to overthrow.
Yeah, I know. Exactly, I know. What do you guys think? We started this yesterday? Oh my goodness! You know this is the Democrat callers. Have you noticed lately on this program? That was the first time this has happened. But have you noticed that the Democrats are kind of going underground on the program? It's been happening lately. They've been going underground because things are not going well for them. And that guy there is one of our creepy liberal chronics, and look what he's doing. He's trying to pretend to be a conservative and say stupid things. But let me finish up with this before we go for today. You know, this poor woman, the Ziegler family here, okay? I'm not endorsing their sex life, but they do very good work with Moms for Liberty, okay? And if this was a rape, why have the police not arrested a week later? Been a week. Why are they not arrested? It's a very high-profile case with lots of media attention. Wouldn't they want to arrest? And even if he did rape her, why is the wife being held responsible for her husband's actions? And so far as Moms for Liberty and their position on things, what their position is the things that they oppose don't belong in the public school for children to have access to. Okay? They're not trying to ban gays or trans people. They just don't think children in school should be exposed to this stuff. So even her three-way sexual life, which isn't the biblical way or the conservative way, that's not in conflict with Moms for Liberty and their position on content in the public schools. They want to bring down Moms for Liberty. They hate Moms for Liberty. They're a big threat because they're training candidates to run for school boards and for Congress. They're training a generation of MAGA women to run for office, and they have success. And the left are trying to bring them down because they're losing to them. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right. Hey, Ronnie, what's up? What's up?
Oh, I do believe you're referring to Sam Giancana.
No. This was a Jewish gangster. He wasn't Italian. He was a Jewish gangster.
Okay. Well, I took a stab at it, but anyway, getting to the Obamas earlier, I think they are disgusting with this racist thing going on. You know, they just it's just really out of hand for them to even, you know, just bring that stuff out like that, and just you know, because I'm like this here. I'm a person of color, a black man, and I have some really, really close white friends that, I mean, I could just call on and just say, hey, and they're like this here, where are you? Don't even worry about it. Just so, I mean, people are people. And I go back to the saying, like what Martin Luther King say, don't judge me about the color of my skin, but by the content of my character.
Yep.
People have somewhere along the line forgotten all of that. And it's just amazing to me. Also, I think I'm like you when it comes to what is going on with somebody else's business in the bedroom. Let it be. And I feel there is you know, great conspiracy to put this woman out of her position. And yes, they are working on the mega group hard and fast to keep us from arriving to our point of action. And God praise President Trump. Please get in office. I am rooting for him to get in office so he can destroy all of this.
That's right. Well, listen, appreciate the call. Good to hear from you. Take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Chris from Port St. Lucie.
Hey, Chris, 30 seconds.
Okay, Meyer Lansky?
Not Meyer Lansky. Jewish gangs? No, not Meyer Lansky. Not Meyer Lansky. It's the guy, it's the real life guy that De Niro played in Casino, was one of our listeners. And I think his last name was Rothstein, but I can't remember his first name. And it may be different than the character's first name in the movie. But the guy who did the TV show and the casino in Vegas, the real life guy. All right, listen, don't forget Sunday, 2 o'clock, come meet me and Steve Kane at Wings Plus, the Sample Road location in Coral Springs, about a mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road. You are all invited. You're going to have a great time. It's a very conservative, very pro-police, pro-conservative business. You're going to have a great time. Wings Plus on Sample Road, Sunday at 2. I'll be there. Steve Kane will be there, and we look forward to meeting all of you. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening today. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. God bless America.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar. WIRK 103.
All right, guys, I got to run. Make sure you subscribe and like the video before you go, okay? I told you I didn't even get to half of my stuff, but that's what the podcast is.